Hello, 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 Sanibonani, beautiful people. How are you doing? It is Thursday. Happy Thursday, wherever you are. How is level 3A looking wherever you are? We are celebrating. We are happy. More and more businesses are opening. So, sijabule makhoneni.
Hey! Hey!
It really looks like we are living in the Baye lockdown, taking from what President said yesterday, but ke sazozwa ngo-minister ukuthi how this whole thing is going to work, ukuze ukuthi how social distancing is going to work. Especially, I'm more concerned about things like barber shops and where we do our hair, because there's absolutely no social distancing where you do your hair. Even if to one person at a time, but the hairdresser has to touch my hair, and I don't think anyone's going to open their shop only to do one person's hair per day or per week. So sizobona khona ukuthi ihamba kanjani. But more and more people are going to work, and people were tired of staying at home. Hey, abantu besebenza nje izinto zokuthi phela this 3 months uhlele ekhaya, sometimes they forget who you are. So fanele ubuye ubakhumbuze, you must remind them ukuthi ubani ukuze bangakhohlwa, bangadidwa indaba ye-lockdown bese becabanga ukuthi somahlalela sonke.
Hawu ijazi sisi
Lekhaya nje ukuthi nithathana kancane. Umuntu kumele ahlala buya nikhumbuze kahle kahle ukuthi ubani.
hawu
So yeah, people have had to employ different measures to remind people who they are. Ukuthi abahlele emakhaya ngoba nakhu bewomahlalela ngempela, ukuthi nje abantu babuye bathathane kancane bakubona usuhleli nabo emakhaya kanti wena uzihlaliselwe indaba ye-lockdown. So please do let me know where you are watching us from and how is lockdown treating you. Are you happy with u-3A lo esesiyakubona? I call it 3A because it wasn't announced as level 2. So I think it's 3A. I hope there won't be 3B, 3C, 3D, but we will see. How is it affecting you? Are you happy with it? Do you think we are ready to open our retail shops and other businesses? Or is it just for economic purposes? Ngoba yazi nalento umuntu wafika ne-economy wake wasiyala. And today's show is going to be a very, very beautiful show. We are going to have so much fun because we are talking about money. We are talking about money today. But before we start talking about the main topic, I want us as Black people to remember yesterday we were talking about breadwinners. And we did say that we should never forget the spirit of Ubuntu. But we need to know where to stop. And when it comes to the spirit of Ubuntu, it's not just your family. It's not just the people you personally know. I'm going to introduce to you guys a friend of mine that really impressed me with Indo Ayenzayo. During lockdown, and her businesses are affected kakhulu futhi because she needs people to not, with social distancing and everything that happened. It's very bad for everyone. But she took it upon herself to help those who are less fortunate. Let me introduce you to Zandi. I call her Zandi, and you are going to love it, and she's going to tell us about the charity. I just thought if I bring her here, we might be able to also help her with the charity, or even for us to help wherever we are, to help people abasondelene nathi. Zandile. Hello.
Hi.
How are you, my darling? I am good. I am good. How is lockdown treating you? Are you happy with level 3 advanced?
Yeah, yes, I'm advanced. I'm at level 3 advanced now. I'm grateful that I'm from home, so yeah, I was not affected much, in terms of moving around. I'm always at home.
But your business was
But exercise. definitely, my business was affected in a big way because I supply. I'm a wholesaler. I supply people, and the people that I'm empowering, the people that I'm supplying, they were also affected as a supplier. I couldn't supply them, so it was affected in a big way. The past 2 months was really hectic for us.
And I was even telling you, you are so lucky that you are in South Africa because you are hardly ever in the country. You are always somewhere.
Yeah.
You are so lucky that you were locked down in South Africa.
Yes, I'm very grateful to God because in February I was in Italy for like 2 weeks or so, and then I went to Israel. Immediately when I landed in South Africa, that's when we heard that there's an outbreak of corona in Italy. So I was very grateful that one didn't catch one. So
Exactly.
I was at home for 14 days, making sure that I'm safe, you know.
Yeah, because it was scary because you were there, nobody knew what was happening then. So you were just carefree, having fun, and the next thing, boom.
We're all over the place from
yeah, it was just crazy. Your charity, not many people do what you do. To think of people who are, number one, not related to you, to think of people who are less fortunate. Tina, when we are fortunate, we want to show off. People must know that Thenjiwe has arrived. People must come and smell my croissants. People must know ukuthi, yeah, this one is doing well. And you just decided ukuthi wena you want to give back. Please tell us more about charity yakho.
Okay. Well, from growing up, I've always been a giving person. I love giving. I love taking care of people, you know, at home. My mother used to say to me, when I came to see someone suffering, you know. So during this lockdown, I realized that there are lots of by this, especially food. You know, I looked at in my house, we are buying anything, we've got stock of food, but thinking about people who cannot afford to stock, you know, a lot of food. And I said, you know, I have to do something. Then I started with a few families, and then started to grow in my also in May and June. Also next week we are feeding more families, you see. So that's what we've been doing. So we buy the basic food, grocery for families, and we're targeting old age people who cannot take care of themselves, you know, where there's no one who's working at home. So those were the people that we're targeting. So the foundation that I started is called Adopt a Family, because I realized that we have so many people that can do something, but they don't see a need, or they don't see someone doing something. So if you can make people aware, you can start with one family, taking care of one family, you know, just buying them, because we all have something to give. You know, starting with one family, even if we commit to buy them meal every month, you know, that is something. Even if we buy them bread and milk, there's always something to give.
That is so powerful. And you are so right when you say you are a giver, because even when I first personally met you, we were doing charity for a great impact. We were going around just making people's Christmas better. And I remember you came with so many suitcases. In fact, let me confess that stuff that was in your suitcases, I was like, hey, I should have been given these suitcases, because you didn't just bring people things that you want to get rid of. You brought designer stuff, good quality stuff. So that was like, oh my God, I can I take from that? I wanted to ask you if I can take from the suitcases, because you brought people good quality stuff. Because some of us, we think giving is getting rid of. But from you, I could tell, no, this one is not getting rid of stuff. She's giving other people, and you didn't say, oh, they are poor, what do I do, what do they know about this designer brand? You gave them good quality stuff, and you've taught the same to your daughters as well.
Yes, I believe that, you know, you can tell your kids and they must do something, but it's even better when you show them. I've taught them at a very young age. Like I just realized, like last month when we went to feed these families, I bought groceries, and my daughter me, can I just buy veggies for those families? I want to sow, because she understands that, you know, the more you give, the more God blesses with more, because God can trust you. If this one is not just for her only, it's for others. Everyone's gonna feel, because people, they just think about themselves. It's if I've got a nice house, if I've got a nice car, my kid go to best schools, I don't care about other people. But for us, it's a different case. In my family, we always think about who can we help, who can we ask, who can we take care of. Like for instance, I live in Sandton. When I drive to the mall every day, one day it started with one day when I saw this guy who's selling newspapers, but I could see that he's hungry, and I had like a of bread in my car, and I said, let me give him one loaf. The smile on his face was priceless, and it ended up being a help on that road. When our car comes, every corner they're waiting for us, just bread alone. Just when they see our car, they all, oh, she's here. Even if it's not me, if it's my daughters, they know we buy bread and we give people along the way. You know, giving someone, blessing someone with something that looks so small, yet it speaks to them. That's what God expects from us. So, yeah, we love giving. We love helping people.
And you always gifting people, like I said, you gift them with quality stuff. It is important. I must let people know that whatever you can afford to give is important. So when we say quality stuff, it doesn't mean you have to wait until you can afford to give quality stuff, or because everything is quality, just that some obviously is more expensive, it's designers. Because I saw the food parcels you give, even without blaming the government for the food parcels, but your food parcels, look at them. Guys, this
yes.
is quality. So like these are even the food, it's tastic. We all know as South Africans, tastic is not just, it's not the cheapest rice you can find. What message can you say to us about giving, about the importance of giving?
Okay, just go back to the quality of giving. You mentioned earlier on that when I was giving clothes, I was giving nice clothes. I mean, if you give someone, you give them the best. And because I get clothes or something that I cannot wear it, my expect someone else same thing. So when I give them, I look at them as I look at myself. Would I wear that thing? Because normally if I don't give because my clothes are old. I'm a shop. I love shopping. I travel the world. Wherever I travel, I go with an empty suitcase. I buy clothes. So my clothes and every 6 months. So some of them I've worn them once. Some of them in those suitcases I didn't want them. I remember. So they called and said, "No, this one even have sex. Yeah, this one I haven't worn it." And I'm not seeing myself wearing it, let me give it away. Someone else needs it. So I believe in giving quality, not something that someone cannot use, you know. And when a person, you give them the best, and the person is like, oh my goodness, I've never thought I can own something like this. And you're like, oh my goodness, just that one item, it has made that person happy. And also the quality of food. I love quality, I love good food. So when I grocery, some people they say, okay, tastic is expensive. You can buy long grain rice cheaper. But for me, if I love that person, I give them the best. So I give them because what if I was the one receiving? What if I was the one receiving the food. You know, that looks at the heart. He looks at the heart. How is your heart? How is your attitude towards giving? Because some people, I'm not saying there are people who've got good intentions. Some people, they do it, people can see, for when it's from the heart, you give the best, the attitude. And what excites me, the last time when I went to one of the towns food last month, one lady to me, I was praying God, and I said, we don't know what we're gonna eat tonight, and we showed up. I said, I live in Sensin. Said, you left your own house and you thought about me and came to give me the food. And it was like, I've never, the tea, the kind of tea that I bought, this kind of milk, it was like, even this, I never thought it was too expensive. That is very, very important to buy the quality, because I don't think it's enough. So you must give the heart and give the best. And that's where the blessing ends. I remember I started feeding 5 families, 10, 20 families a month. I'm talking on basis. You see, quality food, school uniforms. We do a lot of things. Some we don't even share, because whenever I see a person and I get a phone call, need something, I respond to that, because I believe that my blessing for me. That same spirit I've also transferred to my kids. When I go to give, I go with them. My kids think, before they'll that's how life is. But I go to quarter camps to those one-room house where a person lives in one room, and when they come back, they'll be crying. They'll come and say, "Mommy, we appreciate you." So yeah, I believe that as much as you can enjoy life and have a lot of things, but think about other people. Imagine you can feed one person. I promise you, the more you feed, to help other people, the more God blesses you. The more God opens doors. I live in abundance, because I know that whatever comes, I give it to other people. I share with other people.
Hey, that is so important. So
yeah,
how do we help if somebody wanted to help charity yako, or how do we get in touch? How do we help? I'm gonna put your Instagram your Instagram handle here, guys. If you want to give a hand, if you want to also assist, because masibaningi sisiza, kushuthi instead of 20 families ngagcina kusizeka ama-families amaningi. And also look at that family ngakini and help them. Look at that family. We all know someone who's less fortunate. Look at them, even if it means you're just buying sanitary pads every month for a girl child that comes from a family that cannot afford. A bag of rice for that poor family. Or if you can, please do help charities like Zandi, where she's already shown us she's doing it with her own money. And now, imagine if we were to help as well. And obviously, do not pour from an empty cup. Nawe zisize. And then, but I promise you, there's always someone less fortunate. Imali esiyisebenzisayo, even kuma airtime or otshwaleni, it could really make a difference. Imagine one day someone saying, I'm a doctor, and it would not have happened, because it would not have happened if so and so didn't help me. So guys, let us get into the spirit of helping. Here is Instagram ya Zandi. Ngicela nim contact her and inbox her, and also just let us get into the spirit of giving, not just on Christmas, but let us give carefully. And going back to the main topic, this was also a very important part of the topic, the spirit of giving, and where do we teach our children and also important to teach our children about giving and how to give and when to give. But most importantly, as Black families, especially from my experience in Southern Africa. Oh, nangu Zandi buya.
Yes.
Hello, Zandi.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, sorry about that. Angazi kwenzekeni kuyilokuzana. So what message can you leave us with about the spirit of giving, and how can people assist with charity yakho?
Okay, you can inbox me on Instagram. On Instagram, I'm called Travel with Zadiva.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've got a link.
Transform with Zadiva. Sorry,
Yeah.
Transform with Zadiva. That is my link on Instagram.
Yep.
And you can DM me on Instagram. Then I'm gonna tell you how we can assist, because the big idea is that we can all do something. You don't have to bring money to me. You have to help some community. You know, in your area, you do something in your area, because I believe charity begins at home. You see, so anyone, your neighbor, you know, your whoever that is close to you, they can start with one family at a time. So once you've bought something, you take a picture of food, not of that person, a picture of the food, and then you can forward it to me. You post it on our page and motivate other people, because you know, the more people see what's happening, the more people participate on the same thing. So my charity is called Adopt a Family, which means everyone participates. Just one person. You start with one person, then you can grow from there, because the more you do, the moment you start something, God will give you the ability to do more. Will increase you. Will operate doors that will bless you to do more greater things. I started with few families. I see us feeding thousands of families every month. You know, because a person can lack everything, but if they don't have food, it's really a problem. And we cannot wait. We cannot wait for the government to do something. It can start with us, you see, by helping those who are near us, those who are close to us, you know. Just helping. I promise you, start small. You can say, I don't have money, I don't have income. Go and help someone, do something, you know. Give someone a smile, show them smile. Give, you know, brighten your day. As I said, that when I drive, when those guys see me, they're excited. It's not something much, but when they see my face, they know we're gonna get that bread. We're gonna get that, you know.
And believe those thank yous will definitely open doors for you. You give someone a loaf of bread, someone calls you and gives you a keys to a bakery without you even asking.
Exactly. I've seen doors. As I'm telling you, you know, a lot of companies during lockdown, where people are complaining about this and that. And I'm like, okay, we don't know that. We're not affected, because we know that as the lockdown started, God spoke to me that I must start helping people. This was just in my heart. I just couldn't sleep. Then I started buying food for people. Immediately, I started doing that, you know. We started operating, and God started increasing us even more than before. You see? Yes, but it starts with giving. You know, the hand that gives is blessed, and God multiplies the giver, you know.
That's
Yeah.
So important, guys. Let us
Yes.
learn to give. Let us learn to give, especially those less fortunate. And giving is not just giving a kaya. Yes, the more thank yous you get, the universe. Yeah, but karma doesn't forget an address. So do blessings. Blessings don't forget an address. If someone blesses you, that blessing will come back to you.
Very, very true. You know, when you go home, you speak to my mother, blesses me so much that sometimes it's like, no, it's enough now. I've got, but you know, I know what blesses my soul, what makes me happy is to see someone happy. You see, person is happy. You know, the people who work for me, they always happy. You know, last sometime I think I posted something on Facebook when I was lifting my helper, because I said, this is how she's supposed to live, you know. This is how she's supposed to end, because I put myself in a face. I said, she's doing so much, even more than me, so she deserves the best. You understand? So most of the time we think that giving, you only give when you have a lot. No, you start small, then God increases you, you grow. I'm where I am because of my giving, you know. I'm where I am because of my giving. Wherever I go, I'm a blessing.
That is
Yeah.
so important. Yo,
Yes.
thank
Yeah.
you so much, Zandi. Guys, let us learn to give. Let us give to those less fortunate. And you can
Yes.
give back to me by subscribing to my YouTube channel. It's absolutely free to subscribe. Please don't forget to subscribe. Yo, giving, very, very important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so
It's very
much, Zandi. Yes, I feel
yeah.
like we need to talk about this at length another time.
Yes, we do. We do. Because I mean, a lot of people need to start doing the same thing, you see. Because most of the people who are complaining, who are saying I don't have this, maybe they can start helping someone. Their doors will be open. They'll unlock a lot of things. You know, sometimes you need to forget about what you don't have and think about someone else. That's being unselfish. You know, think about others. Yeah.
Yeah. What we're gonna do is, guys, we were gonna wait for your photos. Here is Instagram, Zandi. Take photos and send to her as you are giving other people. Obviously, don't take photos of the people you are giving because this is not a PR stunt. This is not an initiative for you to just take photos with people. Take photos of the food parcels, and show to Zandi so that the initiative can grow. Adopt a family. Let us all adopt a family, and then we will have Zandi back, and we will all join in the conversation and talk about how do you feel now that you are giving, and how has it helped.
And I've got a page on Instagram, a specific foundation, which is called Adopt a Family Movement. Yeah.
Adopt a Family Movement, guys. Let us go to that page on Instagram, and yeah. I'm just looking for the page on Insta. There we are. I'm gonna send you guys the link. Yep. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. I just wanted to make sure that I'm taking the right picture. Here is the link to the page, guys. Please do join and let us grow this beautiful initiative. Let us grow together. Let us grow. Transform with Zadiva, and I did put the Instagram link. It is here. Here, it's Transform with Zadiva on Instagram. Please do follow, and you are such an inspiration as well, guys. Who follow Uza, you'll be very, very inspired. You will be inspired. You will also learn that Black girl, Black child, it is possible. South African, it is possible. Do not limit where you are.
Yeah.
Sandra Sam, thank you so much. We're gonna have you back.
Yes, that would be nice.
We're gonna have you back. We're gonna talk about it. Uthi usibahle ngoba vele isintu sithi umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu.
Yes, uqinisile. Umuntu ngabantu. Mawazisa abantu nje empilweni.
Usuku uthi vele to dignify people, never show their photos when handing it to them.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, guys, let us continue the good work. Uyabongeka sisi umsebenzi wakho, and we will definitely have you. I'll speak to you and we will decide ukuthi uzobuya nini when you are free, and then we will continue this conversation. Abantu sebebuya sebesho nabo ukuthi sebenzeni. Sizwe nokuthi bayilalelile into obuyisho noma nje ungene ngapha waphuma ngapha.
Uyabona. Yes.
Usbahleke loves your taste in clothes. She bought you a wedding dress for 10th anniversary yakhe in your shop, and she's never stopped talking about it.
Smart. I remember her. I remember her. She was a beautiful bride. Yes.
Yeah. So, Ati, where do we send photos again? Here. Go Adopt a Family. Mungabu Fiaglo Instagram page. You will also find the email address. And yeah, I think in fagele an email address just in case. Now email address, you can get in touch with Uza, and let us continue to coolies the love movement and make it nice and big.
Yes.
Put email address. Siyabonga Sandra Sam, we're definitely gonna have you back.
Thank you
And
so much.
I expect a lot of photos masibuye from
Yeah.
different people to say mina sengenzile ngakithi, mina sengenzile ngakithi.
Thank you so much. You are doing a great job now.
Thank
you. know.
you. Thank you so much. And guys, when we are giving, let us not just give to the unemployed. There's always that person who's working hard and can hardly really sustain ifamily ayigadile nani nani. Put a smile on their face saying ngiyakuphumuza
Yes.
this month ngizokuthengela igross. Ngiyakuphumuza this month ngizokuthengela ithikithi lebhasi. So
Yes.
there's so much more.
Yeah, this is very right. I mean, I did that to my hairdresser because I thought I'm a salon, I value their clothes. I was like, I wonder if she's got food, you know? I know she's got a salon, but I wonder how she's coping because she hasn't been working for the past months. And I said, it's better I buy a grocery and bring her food at home, you know, because she's got things like that. Not
And I'm
because
sure that made her day.
yes. Oh, yes, definitely.
Yo, I thank you so much. Oh, siyabonga kakhulu, and thank you for your time. I know ukuthi unenkonzo okufanele uyiqhubhe. Kufanele ufike uzobashumayeza futhi ukuthi uNkulunkulu usetshenzelwa kanjani.
Oh yes, yes. Ukuthi konke esinakho kuvela kuNkulunkulu.
Yes. We're gonna be seeing you very soon. Thank you so much, Sithandwa sami, ngiyabonga kakhulu. God bless you and continue the good work.
Thank you so much.
And ladies and gentlemen, how much do you talk to your children about money? Do you teach your children about money, or do your children not know? Bayasihleka le ngaphandle. Bathi Tina, especially with our girl children, we only teach them about washing dishes and doing the rest of the house chores. Ntombazane doesn't use a washing machine. Ntombazane must use hands. But we also expect them to be CEO and doctors and things like that. So we end up with CEOs with very clean offices, but very empty bank accounts because we are not teaching our children about money. We are not talking imali in our families. Imali is a taboo subject. So when do we start? I need parents to join the conversation to tell us, when do we start talking about money? Do you discuss money with your children? What can we learn from other races? Because I share imali iyasihlupha, guys. A person, I've seen too many millionaires today broke tomorrow. I've seen too many people have money and do the wrong things. And a lot of us, when we qualify from after going to tertiary institutions, our first years are just for paying debts. We have too much debt. When we come out of university, we have retail shops that we are already owing. We have cell phone shops that we are owing a mark account because we took our phone contracts, because you bought that t-shirt from that retail shop, because nobody talks to us about money. We make the wrong money decisions. So first 10 years when we should be starting see improve impilo and investing, when we are still more youthful and spring chickens asakwazi ukusebenza kahle. So let us have this conversation. I have Umimi, siyamazi sonke uMimi, umngane, friend of the channel, umngane wethu uMimi. And we also have uSuku, siyamazi naye futhi uSuku oluhle. Let us talk about these things. Awuthi ngibangenise basibingelele. Mimi, unjani?
Hello. Kanjani mama?
Ngiyaphila, siyabonga ukuthi usijoyine.
No, it's not a problem. Anytime.
Awuthi ngifake noSuku oluhle khona sizoyiqala le nkulumo ngoba ngifuna ukwazi nami. I have my own problems about le topic yemali. I'm raising a teenage child and I'm raising him the way I was raised because that's all I know. So mhlambe namhlanje izokuphela ishow, I'll be a better parent.
Mhlambe,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good, Sithandwa sami. So let us talk about money.
Money.
Did your parents talk to you about money when you were growing up?
Mina, I wouldn't say they taught us much, but umama wayengakhulumi ngemali per se. Wayekutshela ukuthi imali iyasetshenzelwa. So basically, even going to school, because we were Usisu was helping, but she encouraged us to do some of the things for ourselves. So Monday, when you are going to school, you are not only given a packed lunch, you are given lemon. Mina, I was lazy, so most of the times I didn't get that much money. But the more when I lie, so that's well. But the more I realized with my sister was always, when you buy, when you've got your lunch tin, and it's different than when you're going to buy. Then I started doing that. And then from there, I started trying to do normal chores even without being told. And then it's funny, but I don't know. Maybe because where I was, it was like a gas. So from there was a lady waiting some glucose sweets. And that lady as well, why I'm older, somewhere near our school. So when I was getting older, I think I was 12, I started getting those.
Nice.
At first, I almost ate the profit. Thenjiwe, don't lie. I mean, I don't want to lie. Come on, glucose sweets at those days were these sweets. And then I would give other people on credit, like my friends. But then I realized now I can't go and buy more because what? My money is not enough. And my mom would be like, no, as a person, you need to do a budget. So that's how I learned about money. And that's how I learned to know, Ubute, as a person, you can work. As a person, working is not about because at that time, basically, I was an entrepreneur when I was young.
Yes.
You can say. So I was entrepreneur, I'm a sweet, I'm a glucose. And I wasn't ashamed for it. And even now, because my foundation, I support the youth as well. I tell them about Imali, the use of Imali, because you have money in your hands. These days, we open bank accounts for children. But even the younger ones, teach them, it's okay, Imali, what are you going to use that money for? What are you going to buy with that money? Just teach them the value. Once you teach them the value and you teach them how you can get the money, they will do that. They will know. I'm talking about the girl child because I'm a girl. I'm not saying not to boys, no, but the girl child.
Mimi, were you taught about money growing up? Did you have the money conversation with your family?
All the time. I think since I was primary school, I think even after going to grade 1, abazali bami, they gave me a certain amount of money or a month, and that was my pocket money. But I was always the overweight child, so I didn't get a lot of tax shop money because it's not like I needed to add on top of what I had at that time. So but it's fine because I got sandwiches with salad and tomatoes for lunch. I did not get all these other nice things that the other kids got. So yeah, I had a tough childhood in that regard. When Madam Sweets was busy selling sweets, I couldn't buy them. But my parents drilled it into me since I was a young child that money makes the world go around, basically. And we can all try and fool ourselves and think that, there's more important things than money, all these kind of things. But money puts it over your head. Money feeds you. Money makes you live comfortably. Without that, you can't. No matter who you are. And you can't live off of other people because you're going to become a leech. And that's also something that you don't want to be, because you don't want to be a burden to somebody else, especially now, if you're grown up. So I was told I liked fashion, I liked label clothes and all these things, which I still buy their kids a lot of nowadays. So I always find it very mind baffling when I walk into Timberland or I walk into Guess and I see there's more kids' clothes than adult clothes, you know, like this 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old kid sizes. And I ask myself, why would I buy my child this clothes? My 2-year-old growing like a plant. Why would I buy her a t-shirt that costs 500 rand if she's only going to wear it for 3 months? So those things I wanted as a child, and I'll never forget it when I think I was 11 years old. I wanted a pair of Nikes, a pair of Nike Tech, and I asked my dad for them, and he told me, it's stuck in my head until today. And he said to me, I buy you what you need, and what you want, you can buy yourself. So you need to have shoes on your feet, and I will choose which shoes they are. But what you want, you'll find the money and you'll buy it yourself. So I also went to become a mini entrepreneur as a child, because I bought beads, you know, these beads that you make jewelry with. And I started dibbling with that, and I started playing around. I made necklaces and I made bracelets and all these things that I sold to my friends. And there were flea markets on weekends and I would sell them there. And I would look for any excuse to make money and sell my things, you know. And I did quite well. I think sometimes I would turn it about 500 rand, 700 rand as a teenager. That wasn't bad. I mean, it was early 2000s. So that money got me a lot of things that I wanted. Cell phones, all these things that you were expecting your parents to buy for you today, because you can't think outside the box. Because I think we don't take them to the point where we make them think for themselves. It's like we're scared to allow them to actually think for themselves, because you're scared of what they're going to do. And I think sometimes we just need to give them a little bit of rope and allow them to see what they become, and actually just give them guidance and see where they end up. Because that's what happened with me. I was told, look, this is how it is, deal with it. You know, in high school, I didn't have a social life. I didn't go to the movies after school. I didn't go hang out with my friends. I had to go work in my dad's shop. I had to work on weekends to make my own pocket money, because I didn't get pocket money. So I had to work for it. If I didn't work, I didn't get anything.
Yeah, Mina, growing up, we never had the money conversations at home. All I knew was that you have to work hard. We were never even taught about saving, working smart. I knew abadala were playing itokfela, and all I knew about stokvel, that's how I understood saving. You save a lot of money so you can buy a lot of food in December. Because that's what they do with stokvel. They save money, and then at the end of the year, they buy a lot of food. That's the only type of saving that I knew. I was also an entrepreneur. I used to sell, but then it discouraged me that whenever I made money, then it would be taken. Because you have money, how you expect me to buy you bread when you have money? And I never knew about saving. Nobody spoke to me about debts, which is why I ended up with a lot of debts as a young adult when I started working. Because when you go to tertiary institutions, the first thing that you get is all these shops at gas through it, getting you to open bank accounts. Not bank accounts, what do you call them? Store cards. And they think you're going to get money as a student. So obviously I did that. I wanted to be fashionable. By the time I finished ukufunda, I was deep in debt on unnecessary things, because nobody ever spoke to me about izinto. When I started working as a black child, obviously you want to lungisa your parents' house, you want to change the windows, you want to fix the floor, you want to extend the house, whatever it may be. And you are being given credit cards. Now you are employed. You take those credit cards, it doesn't even occur to you. I was very, very old when I started even looking at the rates. What's the interest rate of this loan? What's the interest rate of this credit card? For so long, I didn't even know when you take 100 rand from a credit card, you're not paying back 100 rand, you're paying a lot more. And then high purchase, you buy a fridge. Now you can qualify. The furniture shop is going to say, oh, you work. Let's see your pay slip. They give you a fridge. A fridge that's worth 3,000, which you could have saved, might have taken you 3-4 months, but you're going to pay 36 months. By the time you finish paying for a 3,000 rand fridge, you've paid 17,000 rands. Nobody taught me about that. Do we talk to our children about that? We've got Uzamo Misi, who is joining us. Let us hear whether her parents banayo money conversation. Hello and welcome, Zamo.
Hello, sanibonani njani?
Siyaphila unjani?
Ngikhona ngiyaphila. We never had such conversations at home at all. In fact, where do you even start? Because there was no money at home. So we really didn't have any money. In fact, we would go to school. Luckily, when I was in primary, I was not staying far from school. So I would go to school. When it's break, I come back home to eat. And that was very dangerous because luckily those times, it was like crime and all those things were not so high. I would cross the river to go to the school, and I'll cross the river to come home for lunch. So there was not even it was not a topic at all. That was there in the family, because if you ask for money, where are you gonna get it? Because they'll tell you that, oh, you want the money or do you want food? And it was a reality. In fact, in my case, it was a reality. I know there was no money. I know the food issue was really. I come from those families that really had not much. So you can't even start a conversation. Who's gonna listen to you? So it took very, very long until. That's why when I grew up, I knew that I wanted to work as soon as possible. In fact, I was very young when I wanted to work, and they said, and my parents said no, but then nobody will employ a child. It's against the law in South Africa. I'm like, can I work somewhere? Can I go with you to work? Because I wanted to have that money, but I couldn't, So the conversation was like zero.
Yeah, guys. And did that affect you in any way, or growing up as a young adult, starting to work?
In fact, with me, that actually encouraged me. It really encouraged me. I wanted to work as soon as possible. I wanted to have my own things as soon as possible. I remember when TV was start coming, there was this advert on TV, and that advert is the one that made me a person I am today. That person, that advert, it's about a guy. They were in the bar. I think it's an alcohol thing. I don't know if it's a bank advert. I can't remember. But all I remember is a guy coming to the bar, talking to this lady. And this guy started, he was hitting on the lady and started saying, number 95, whatever. And then the lady said, oh, is that your phone number? And the guy said, no, it's my salary. And then the woman said, oh, really? It's your salary? So you earn a salary? And the guy proudly said, yeah, boy, yeah, I earn a salary. I earn very much, a lot of money. And the lady said, oh, okay, that's interesting. And then he said, why? And then he said, oh, I don't pay a salary. I don't earn a salary. He said, what do you mean? So you're not working? He said, no, I don't earn a salary. I pay them. If you understand what I mean. I'm not working. I'm not paid a salary, but I pay people's salary, meaning I own a company. And that had been my motivation ever since. Whenever things go anyhow, I would think of that advert. I'm like, I want to be the one that paid them. And then God, it happened. But you get motivations from places you never think, you can get them.
That is so powerful. But generally, Nangi Usipho uthi, very true that, Thenjiwe, most Black children start by fixing the imbalance of the past before they start to build for themselves. And obviously, us being Black people, like Uzamo has said, the parents didn't even have money. Most of us, we are the first ones to earn the kind of money we are earning. We are the first ones to be exposed to what we have. But because now we have our own children, we don't know how to approach these topics because we don't come from a past that addresses money issues. We don't come from a past. Okay, Yes, Sugu. And before I give you a chance, I just want to say a big, big thank you to Sipho Shange. Thank you so much. Usipho A. Shange is the friend of the channel. He is forever helping. Thank you for the super sticker. God bless you. I appreciate you. And please come and join us because this is not a woman's show. All the men never want
Oh,
to
but
join. Sipho,
Sipho does.
click on the link and come and join us. We want to hear from a man as well. This is not a woman's show. Yes, Sugu.
Right. And with your, yeah, Bona, we're talking about money. We're asking ourselves what we taught about money. But what I've realized, even in this day and age, we don't teach Abantuana about money. And there is this thing. Me now, I told you, I used to sell glucose sweets. And the one thing said, I'm a frozen. Do you know I'm a frozen? With those money, Diana.
The ice lolly is it, Ed? The popsicle.
So, fucking fridge. You know, when you're getting the money, you're counting it. It's your money. You know what I mean? And I knew what it's my money. But when I risk to sugar dating, I Luwe to give me money because hey, I've got my money. You get what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, even now, we can say we spoil it. We didn't get the chance to sazi gonge. Yeah, Mina, it was just I'm a frozen. But now, proper conversation of sitting and thinking of saving. If you are going to buy your child designer clothes, but you don't show them how to budget, then I don't know, when they get that money, all they're thinking about clothes. You get what I'm saying? So as adults, if you're talking about the girl child, teach her what you work for your money. Because if you don't, they're going to be dependent. And then if they're dependent on somebody because they are not working, I'm slaying. My man has got money. I want a man with a lot of money because they are not independent when money comes. But if I know the use of the money that I have worked, Thenjiwe, I've got that confidence. But if we don't talk to them about budget, and okay, Usugu wants to treat him, then like I'm coming with all these designer bags and giving you, oh, my mommy can get me that without showing them, in Mali, you can use it for this and this. When I first came here, Mina, you know these catalogs, I bought things because they are saying they'll get the money a month. And my credit score is bad because I didn't think much. All these things are just coming. You know what? That was what was happening. But if you know about money and you know about saving, trust me, you'll be able to. Even now, I'm not going to lie to you. I can't say I'm but COVID, this lockdown has taught us and our children, and this was our chance to show our children that you need to save money. You need to use money this way and this way. There is a savings bank. Abantwana bethu who are here now, they are in their 20s or 20s, they are studying. Teach them there's ISA. You put your money there. We teach our children first, but we don't have to wait for them to be older. Teach them, give them chores to do. Okay, I'm saying like growing up, Tina, these chores and stuff, the money that work. But if you show me what in money is a Genesis one, Jan, if I have my own money and I know you won't give me the money, if I finish my money, I will know how to save it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I will know how to use it carefully. But if I can say, Mom, I want the money, call my purse. Well, I'm telling you, we need to start equipping, empowering our girl child by letting them know that you can make your own money. You can do your budget. So that even if you are married, you won't be able to say, Baba, this is finished. Because you know how to budget your own money.
Ish, that is so important, especially when it comes to a girl child, because even when people are looking, even some parents, they want to know about the financial stability of the man that their girl is involved in. And they don't even look at the abusive side.
No.
Is he a safe man to be with? Does he have any criminal background check done? No, we want financial. Can he support? Does he have money? We don't even care if he killed. How did his last relationship ended? How did it end? Maybe he killed the woman he was with, but because he has money, he's so right. And yeah, that has to stop. That has to stop.
Where are the blessers coming from, Thenji? That because you don't have the money, iblesser izokuthengela lokhu izokupha lokhu. Girl child, sister there, I'm telling you now, you are still a girl child. Work for your money and save your money, because A has bought an expensive car. Stay on your lane. Just do what you can, not because somebody's done that. It's your own budget. You don't know their own budget because you end up in debt. And let's teach our children from a young age how, if I give you this, you know I'm not giving you this after this. And you know I'm not going to give you any extra. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not in that extent where I can say I'm buzzing, I've got loads of money. But we need to teach children with the little that we gave. We have.
Ati Usmangali, so I opened accounts for kids. I learned to save for them during the lockdown. I calculate their bus fare for school and their school meals money. It's the one I transfer to each of their accounts, which I think is very important. And I've got a story to share. Where there's a lady from Poland. We had children together. Well, yeah, at the same time, around the same time. So we were in these mommy groups and things together. And then I remember her telling me, I had my son in 2005. I remember her telling me that she's saving £5 a week for her son. And I dismissed it. In fact, I had a little laugh, like £5 in lay. It's like £5, really. Are you serious about life? And I look back now, I want to count for you how much it is. How many weeks do we have a year? We have 52. So it's 52 weeks times 5 and 15. It's now £3,900. How much is £3,900? Almost 80,000, ne? If not over 80,000. Do I have 80,000 sitting? No, I don't. So it doesn't matter how little it is. We need to teach our children. Don't think just because it's £5, just because it's £5, it's not worth it. I'll wait until I have a lot of money. We need to teach. And let me count with the Zuma money. Do you guys know the Zuma calculator?
Yes, it's 20. It's 20. It's 21 for now. It's £10. It's 21 pounds. No. Yeah, £10 is 200 pounds.
That's a lot of money. 200 rands. That's a lot of money.
200 rands, man.
Yeah. Let me see how much Zuma will say that is.
That's Zuma. Oh, you want the 4 plus 4 is equals to 44.
Have you guys seen the Zuma calculator?
No, please.
770,000. It's not 250.
There's this app, it's Zumanator. So it's Zuma who does the math. So you're never going to get anything right. It is so funny. I just wanted to share that. But back to serious business. Mimi, when you are exposed, umlungu, but you are very exposed to the way we live and the things we do as Black people. Where do you think we go wrong? Because number one, I'm more worried about the parents who leave their children with a lot of wealth. But once the parents are gone, the wealth is gone because we do not know how to take care of finances. I'm worried about that girl who's a CEO, but because Ekaya, she was more taught about cleaning and doing housework. She's got a clean office and a very empty bank account because she doesn't know how to handle her money. But as a woman, she knows how to clean. Where do you think we go wrong as Black people, Mimi?
Thenjiwe, I think in a way the problem is that it all starts with your upbringing. That we must strive for marriage, or we are taught that we must strive for making a man happy, or whatever the case may be, not to be financially independent. So our parents don't teach us that. Even mine didn't teach me that. Yes, they taught me to be independent, but they didn't teach me all the little nitty-gritty details, like buying a car with the balloon payment. I think almost every person that buys a car today, their first car they buy with the balloon payment, because they don't even understand what a balloon payment means or how it works, because people don't tell you. Your parents, I feel, my parents are supposed to tell me that this is what a balloon payment is the day that I want to buy a car. This is how it works. This is how a credit card works. This is how X, Y, and Z works. As a parent, you need to be able to tell your kids that before they attempt to do that, so that they go into that situation open-mindedly. And I think that happens not just with Black females. I think it happens with us as well. Yes, maybe we are taught to be more independent at a younger age, because Gitsi, when you are finished with school or finished with varsity, be it whatever, you go out of the house. You leave your parents' house. You are no longer leeching off of them, because they tell you straight, I'm done with you. I've raised you. Now it's your business. Go do you. And I think in a lot of Black culture, there is, girls can stay home until the day that they get married. Some of them aren't required to actually be independent or to be self-sufficient. So then you get, when they do become self-sufficient, when women become self-sufficient, then you got to learn on your feet. There's nobody that guides you, or you do get people that guide you, but they have got false pretenses or they have hidden agendas, because you've got friends that can claim to be your friends, but in the background, they're trying to sabotage you. Because Tina Bosesi, it's like that. You've got friends, but they're not really your friends. So I, for one, have learned to sift. I sift through people. And if a person is toxic for me, I get rid of them. If a person does not contribute to my life, I get rid of them. Be it a man, be it a female, it doesn't matter. Because I used to tell my mother, if a person doesn't pay rent in my life, or you don't pay a bond, or you don't pay anything in my life, then you don't have a say. I have a say. It's my life. So when I wanted to buy a house, people said, no, don't buy a house. When I wanted to buy a car, no, don't do it. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Who's going to do it for me? Because it's about me. And I think the smartest thing a woman can do when she starts working, or when she starts being self-sufficient and independent, is plan for your own future. Regardless if you have a man in your life or not. I mean, I think a man worth his salt will allow you to be an individual and be a woman, or be a wife, or be a mother. You can be both. You don't just have to be one. There's no law that I've ever seen where it says when you are cooking, there's no such. I think those days are long gone. If we want to be employed, we want to be contributors into the household, we need to we need to put something aside for ourselves that we can one day bounce back on if something goes wrong. Or if anything, I mean, your husband can lose his job today. What then? All your money that you were earning, you were just blowing it, because hubby's going to take care of everything. So you can't be dependent, because it's not going to get you anywhere. The faster you teach your girl child or your boy child how to be sufficient in his life and how to be efficient in his life, then it's just going to open doors for him and for her from there on. And you will get to a point where you own properties, where you own assets, and you are looking back at yourself and you're like, hey, you know what? I did quite well. I'm proud of myself. And I think that is where a lot of Black girls struggle, because they are not allowed, or they're not given the chance to actually be an individual and actually experience life. Go out there, be a waitress, go and suffer, go and eat bread every day because you can't afford to buy food, but suffer so that you can learn from your suffering and so that you can grow. But don't have something to always fall back on. Because if your mommy and your daddy is always going to be there to pick you up, you're never going to learn how to suffer in life. And suffering is going to teach you how to succeed, because you're not going to want to stay there. You want to get out of that position that you're in.
Yeah. One thing that I have noticed, especially about the new middle class, we don't know money. And you touched on a very good topic. People have bought cars. They don't even know what contract they are in. They don't know whether they are leasing the car. It's a balloon payment. What is it? We don't know. We don't know the value of things that we are buying. We do not even compare the loans that we are taking. Even when it comes to houses, do you check around? Are you getting a good value for where you are buying? Is the bank giving you a good enough loan? Are you not being overcharged? But we do not know. We just think in inhlanhla yam uabsuthe uzonginika ibond. Inhlanhla yam. And when it comes to how we raise our children, we compensate with money. Because number one, we are taking our children to the suburbs where they have no friends, they are lonely. Unlike us who would go and play. In the township, children are not bored, they go around and play. We lock them up in these gated estates and we compensate with money. Always buying them the latest machines, always buying them the latest whatever. And we don't have generational wealth. Even someone who doesn't even own a house, who's got a house on bond, they are going out to eat out in a nice restaurant every weekend. And that money could be going towards paying the bond. But no, we are going to restaurants, spending 1,000 rand at a go. We are buying our children designer clothes, but they have no investment. They have no saving. We are paying for our children to have their hair done in expensive hair salons, but there's no savings in their accounts. We are taking our children to expensive private schools only for them to go to UJ when they are done. And everyone else in their school is going overseas to study because those parents had prepared and they have generational wealth. They can afford to take their children to Oxford. Tina, we will do that. And then a child who went to St. Mary's, whatever these expensive schools are, is now going to Damelin. It's not how it's supposed to work. So when do we talk about money? And where do we get education? And how do we help each other to talk about these things? Because especially there's this township thing. When you look at, even here overseas, when someone is wearing, say, a designer, could be Hugo Boss, even Louis Vuitton, it's not always written all over. You see the quality, you say it's nice, and then you'll see the label, or you'll see just a small sign with, oh, it's that brand. But when it comes to Africa, because they also know our mentality, we're not doing it for ourselves, we're doing it for the neighbor. It always has to have big branding, because it's for the neighbor. It's not for me. We don't care about the quality. And we are doing the same thing when it comes to money. This is why sometimes we are even leaving our children poor when we die after giving them a good life. Because I've seen things where people live in beautiful estates, Kobo Senti, or what you call them, but they are renting. They're paying rent of 45,000 a month. They die, they lose their job. They have to go back to the township, or the children now have to go back to the village to live with the grandmother. They could have bought a house, the rent they were paying, they could have bought a house for cash in Soweto. But they were paying that money as rent. In a year, they could have paid off a decent place in a lower class neighborhood. But so when do we talk, even in my industry, in the entertainment industry, you see people living beyond their means. Sometimes I produce. And for me, I think it's because we don't know money. Nobody talks to us about money. Sometimes Uzamo knows. We will produce a movie. We know how much we paid this person. But come red carpet night, The dress they are wearing is more than what they were paid to act in the movie. The shoes they are wearing. I mean, I've got now the tendency where if we're doing launches for our productions, traditional outfits, just to take people out of that stress of overspending, because we've seen people dressed in outfits that are more than what they made for the project. So where do we start? Where did we go wrong? And what can we do so that our children don't repeat the same mistakes that we made? Before I get back to you guys, can I just read some of the questions, because there are so many that have come through. There's one I wanted to read, Lindo. Yes. Ulindo Magaye, my daughter is 3 years old and I've already bought her a piggy bank. She knows ukuthi mangimnika imali, she has to put it there. Hayi ukuthi uyothenga amancamnci. Yo, siyawathenga thina amancamnci. Siyawathenga amancamnci. Let us hear uzama ukuthi uthini ngale ndaba, especially when it comes to knowing that the debt we get ourselves in, to knowing what we can afford. Hayi lento yethu yokurent imizi yo 45,000, guys.
Hey, yes, you know, it's a very sensitive thing. This thing of having property and teaching our children about money. It is a very difficult one because Tina ourselves, nobody taught us. So whatever you have to do as a person, you just learn it as you go. So whether it works or it doesn't work, it's another issue. So I know for the fact the first house that I bought, first house ever, I like Thenjiwe was saying, I didn't know what's the interest rate. I didn't know, it was Nelspruit, by the way, Gamaku. I didn't know the interest rates. I didn't know anything. That first house that I bought got repossessed because then I moved to Pretoria and then like I have to pay in Pretoria. I have to do this. And sometimes the business is not doing well and you look at priorities. Where do you pay? You pay where you stay. What about where, there's really so much that we have to learn about that. But I decided that time, on that day, that never will I ever buy anything on credit. Never will I ever. The house that the other house I bought after that one, because then after that I started renting. After that, then we decided, okay, let's buy a house, cash. It was not in the neighborhood that I was like crazy about, but I said to myself, I will save and save and save and save and save, and then buy it cash. First one was not cash, but we paid the deposit high. We paid off the house within a year, a 20-year bond. We sacrificed so many things. Then we say, okay, let's pay off this house. At least you know, because at the time I'm a business person, my husband is a business person. We're not working like government or wherever. So
can I stop you there? Something that some people may not know, because I know you and I know this now. Did you guys know that if you take a 20-year bond, if you pay it off within a year, the bank will charge you, especially if you want to pay it off before a year, they will charge you a fine because now you are playing with their interest. If you pay it within a year, you have to write to them to beg them to allow you and still pay a fine. Because the longer you take to pay, the more interest they make out of you. It is more difficult to pay it off sooner than it is to take the 20 years. Continue, Zamo.
Yeah, because you clearly messing up with their interest. So then we've decided, okay, we're not going to buy like long-term kind of loans. We bought the first house and then we paid it off within a year. And Basi charge are like high. I even said to my husband, do we really have to do this? Because at that time we didn't have enough. Paying off the house already was like taking so much out of our pockets. And I'm like, we could take this money and use it for let's pay that interest and forget. How else are we going to generate some wealth for our children if we have to live on paying the house, paying a car, paying that, So we had to pay off the house. And then after that, we moved from that house to another house. There we had to save money. And now it's an estate. And obviously it won't be as cheap as the suburb that one used to live in. Then we had to buy it cash. So honestly, this thing of credits, I know like in most of the time, I went through that as well. It's not easy to have cash and pay off like your house like that. It's not easy. It's difficult. But where you can like kind of sacrifice certain things, do that and pay off that house, because that money that you would have paid to the bank comes back to you to do other things in your family. And when it comes to teaching children, it's a difficult one, Shem. it's a difficult. I know some of my family members, like kind of relatives, they're like, oh, Sizamo, please, I want to buy ingubo Christmas. I'm like, hey, ingubo Christmas. I don't buy my kids ingubo Christmas. I don't. I'm like, if you can't afford buying ingubo Christmas, I go now. Even my kids can't buy. So that means you have to give me to buy for my kids as well. Because as is ingubo Christmas, I buy for the kids twice a year. Twice a year because I've learned. Thanks to Thenjiwe. Twice a year because I've learned. I don't buy much in South Africa unless it's emergent. I will wait when it's summer. When it's like now here, I'm in Canada. It's summer, so winter things are cheap. Then I go and buy winter things. The money I would have spent at gas or wherever we buy, I spend like way too less, and I bought cash. I didn't buy the account. And then again, when it's winter, I buy their summer clothes, and then they will wear at that time. And we wear
75% off.
Jesus.
And when people say my child doesn't have itches, even if you are in South Africa, by now you know they're gonna be 17 next year. You know they're gonna be 3 years old next year. Why not buy it in Gama winter sales? It's because you are worried about fashion. Is this gonna be fashionable?
Exactly.
Is this gonna be fashionable? That's why you are worried. But it shouldn't be that difficult to buy for children. There's a very good message that I want to read, guys. Well, all messages are good, but this just took my attention. David Gao. Hey, David, come and join us, David. We need a man on the panel. And I know my point Sako will be on top. Also, David, paying off a bond is a disaster of a commitment. Best to buy land in a place that's not expensive, even if you have to commute to big cities or towns, and build yourself a house there. Guys, let me talk about this. It's very important. Not just paying bond, but these places where we buy houses, you have to pay levies. You have to pay all rates. Everyone usually has to pay, but levies. Some of these levies are as high as someone's bond. So let us take this moment of COVID-19, bow our heads, and apologize for our sins. Because imagine if you were building your house where you already own land, even if for the last 3 months you couldn't afford and you were about to put windows. Windows will wait for you. If you can afford in September, you put windows in September. Bond will not wait for you. And a lot of people are going to lose their homes because the government said nobody must be evicted during lockdown. After lockdown, banks will be evicting you. After lockdown, you'll still be owing. Imagine if you cannot afford to pay your monthly bond now, if you cannot afford to pay your levies now, how much more when you have to pay for 4 months? How much more after this you have to pay for 4 months? And after lockdown, the government is not going to be saying don't get evicted.
Yeah, that is very, very difficult. You know, here in Canada, people who have bonds, governments are not the same. Our government in South Africa, lots of talk and no show. So here in Canada, the government decided everybody who's going to be affected by the COVID, the government gave them something like $2,000. That's about what, 20 something or up to 30,000 rand. So government gave them that money. So it was supposed to be for 3 months. In these 3 months, government just spoke. I think it was yesterday, if not a day before yesterday. Said, okay, because we don't know what's going to happen, I'm going to extend imali and up to another 3 months, which is like it's their money. They give them, and the government intervened with the banks. Spoke to the bank and said, give people time so that they don't pay for their bonds for 6 months. But this is now what's interesting between the decisions that are made here and in South Africa. Government said to the banks, when these people have to start paying their bond, it doesn't mean that we have to now raise and try to recover. You recalculate. And
so you give them an extra 6 months to pay.
Yeah. Not even Thenjiwe. It's like if my bond is like, let's say $300 or $3,000, for example, and then obviously 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So in this month, then I'm owing a lot of money. So they will decide how much of that money they're gonna take according to your affordability. If you say I'll start paying my bond normal, but additional 10% from what I'm owing until such time, that's what they did. it's not like, and the government is really into it. They make sure what people are really, even the credit cards, 6 months, and then you'll pay it whenever. And that doesn't mean you're not going to use it. And they even ask the banks to say, if people need money now, calculate according to their affordability when they were working. Uguti, this person qualifies for $100,000. Give them $100,000 and don't just take it off like that. The money that you give them during COVID, you have to recalculate how you're going to give them, how are they going to pay it back at the time, which is very nice, because now the private sector works with government and they come with the decisions, and they really make sure they stand by those decisions. But now at home, unfortunately, hell is going to break loose at home. Honestly, hell is going to break loose.
Listen, you said $2,000, so don't even mention 350 rand. In Australia, guys, I wish I was Australian. Comedians are getting 1,500.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Weekly.
Wow. Weekly? Can I be Australian already?
I want to be Australian. No, I think it's monthly. I don't think it's weekly.
But still, some comedians don't have even that money sometimes because there's no gigs. So really,
they also have a break on paying their whatever. If you are paying rent, the government is taking care of your rent, is taking care of your council tax and whatever. So yeah, it is hard. But Mina, like I said, I am more concerned about history repeating itself, having children who find themselves deep in debts. When even us here in the diaspora, when we come here, everything, it's like we are attracted to debts, store cards. We are attracted. You find yourself with 4 phones just because as you walk, they say contract and they give you a contract and you're like, 20 pounds just for 4 unlimited. You end up with 4 phones, but for 20 pounds are 80 pounds. And also when it comes to saving, do you have to wait to have a lot of money before you can save, or can you start saving with anything? Mimi, I was telling lapho. I mean, I wanna have a white woman's bank balance. I'm tired of being poor.
Ouch, that hurts. I think saving is important, and I think Nami, I failed in some of those aspects in Bilwen, because I think had I saved a little bit more than what I could have, what I did save, I might have been able to buy my house cash instead of taking it out on a bond. So I think even as grown as we are today, we still learn as we go along, because there's no handbook showing us how to be adults. There's no one showing us which is the right way. We're basically just winging it and seeing good to see. So saving is important, definitely. I will definitely be different than what my parents did for me. I also like the thing of having accounts for your kids and depositing and making them use those accounts and save themselves so that they can get in the habit of doing it. I wasn't forced to do that. So it was basically freedom of choice, and I chose to obviously do other things with my money. So I didn't save from a young age. I started saving as an adult, but yeah, I would have loved to actually cash. And I've learned from that now, because the one I have, or the 2 that I have, are actually for sale. So when I do sell them, I know how to handle the situation differently going forward. So that is very, very important, because as I said, you need to have a nest egg regardless of how your life situation is now. Because you can be very cushy there where you are. You can be very comfortable in your big house. You can have all of the riches that you can have now, but you can fall tomorrow. You can fall, and it will humble you to a level where you never thought that you would be humbled to. And what is your backup then? What do you have? Are you set for that? I think that is the question each and every single one of us need to ask ourselves today. Like, ukuthi eksasa nangabe kuyabheda, unayiplan na, uzowenzani? That house that you're paying now, who's going to pay it? Your car that you're driving now, who's going to pay it? Mina bengiphethe stress gabi, because I bought a car 3 weeks before lockdown. before lockdown.
Nobody knew there was lockdown. Nobody knew.
It's sitting in the. I didn't know. So it's in the garage. Yes, thank God I've been paying it. Didn't have to have payment reliefs or anything from the bank, but bank pays for stress because this is a big expense that I didn't think was going to give me so much stress. And we can't go out and buy a brand new car cash. It's not easy to go and buy a R500,000 car cash because in my mind it doesn't make sense to even try and buy a car cash. I would rather buy a cash. I'm not going to buy a car cash. I'll rather pay that car every month. It's fine. But I feel it's a waste of a big chunk of money to put it into a car that is just a depreciating asset. It depreciates every day you climb into that thing. So there's no point in investing so much money into something that's going to depreciate every day. So I would rather pay a monthly installment on a car, drive it, finish it, and then Bob's your uncle. But to not have something to fall back on, young stressa lento. And even until today, young stressa, it's a stressful thing. I'm talking as if I might have, but I don't have yet my own, shall I say. But I think there are a lot of things that I would change. Because I've learned how not to do it and how to do it differently with them. So investing, having backups, and having a nest egg, it's vital to anybody, be it a boy child or a girl child.
Mimi, Upagamani says sound is bad for you. I don't know if it's my phone or what. Are you using headphones or a speaker?
No, speaker. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but there is a bit of a background.
Is it? Okay, let me get speakers. Let me get earphones. I'll be back now.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, guys, so let us talk about these things. So what have you learned? What would you change in teaching? What would you say to a 14-year-old Sugoluhle about finances?
You know what I could say to a 14-year-old Sugoluhle is like sometimes a backup plan, it helps. And to know, let me be satisfied with what I have. Because when you're young, you're looking at that girl, you know, she's got what she wants, and now you want it. But we need to know and learn our fingers are not the same. We are different, which is what I brought to my adulthood as well. I don't just get something because somebody has something. Because if you do something that's beyond your means, now when in the end now you are stressed and depressed because you can't pay that debt. You've got bailiffs on your door. You've got a bad credit score because you've gone and got that because, hey, Thenjiwe, who does she think she is? Lami, I can do it. Hey, I can buy a designer. A designer kuphela kubhalwe Tommy Hilfiger kukhola lapha kwaziwa nguwe wedwa. A designer, what anyone can buy it fake when you're walking over there. I can't see who's wearing the real Gucci. But you are just, I'm not saying people shouldn't, but let's learn to live beyond our means. And as for our culture, let's equip them. Parents, not every child will go to university. Every child will have a purpose here. There are some children who are even good at making clothes. Look at our Gucci Kapani. They came from somewhere. Find the talent there. Equip her talent like a support. Now, you know, children who can do hair. They do hair. This other girl, now she's doing wigs. Let's try and see our strong points of our girl children. And this thing I would say, when you are getting married, how much money do they have? Let's stop it. Let's stop it. Money is earned. And now when saving, I had easy save. You know easy saver, right? Easy saver, you can take the money when you can. But I realized when my dad passed 3 years ago, Okay, Suku, la loku. I realized that if I had served more, I would have done more, because at that very moment I had to buy a ticket for me to leave from UK, but not just me. There are some relatives who will tell you, "Mina vele ngibuye nge-credit, angila mali yokubuyela." It was difficult, Thenjiwe. As much as they were very upset, by the time I came this end, I said, "Njombile." Whereas those savings account from the Easy Save, I was using them for things that I didn't need. Guys, there are times you look at other things there and you're thinking, she's always going on special holidays. Just look, if you don't have, I blame over Instagram for our children. Honestly, Instagram must fall. Because our children want to see those fake ones, though. And then they are busy. They want to buy all these hair products, all these skin things. But because we don't realize what is it, look, invest in your future, not in your face powder. You are going to buy loads and loads of things that you don't even need. I became a hoarder, Thenjiwe. I'm not going to lie to you. Just hey. I became a hoarder in my own
Because shopping becomes your friend. It becomes therapeutic. We buy a lot of rubbish, not just for ourselves, also for people back home.
Oh, Black Friday, they will come out your door without realizing. You are on your email. Hey, Black Friday. Hey, sale. But look at the money that you are using for Black Friday. There is no Black Friday. There is no sale. Let's focus on what we can and not just think of the now and think of the future. And teach our children not to always be an employee. I want you to be able to do something like an employer. Not to always wait for a pay slip. Not to always get paid some money. No. Be your own person. You are employer. Do something big, small, and start doing it. Be independent. Not to go to your 30 pension, but you've never done something of yours. I'm not saying it's wrong.
Let us hear from Umuntu Weslisa. We've got David Cow in the house. Let us hear from Umuntu Weslisa, and especially because he's made money and he's also a father. I want to know, Ugutiana, what does he say, and was he taught about money when he was growing up? Mr. David Cow, yay!
Hey, David.
David, your mic is on mute. Please unmute your mic. Happy birthday. Let's sing happy birthday for whoever is having a birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday.
Can you sing again?
Wow.
Happy birthday
to you.
I don't know what's happening.
And that cake looks good.
Yes.
Sorry, guys.
David, your mic is on mute. Please unmute your mic. Happy birthday. Let's sing happy birthday for whoever
And
is
don't
having
stop it today.
No, we're done. It's my sister-in-law's birthday.
Oh.
Is saying that now.
No, not for me. It's my sister-in-law's birthday.
Happy birthday.
They're not here. They're gone. Oh, there's a delay.
There's a delay.
Oh no, sorry. Yes, I've got this on the sheet also.
Oh.
Sorry, guys.
How
are you?
I'm cold. Hey, I have to go back to the fire. Yo, it's cold.
Hey, level 3 in Petagate. You're even having parties, birthday parties.
It's my sister-in-law's birthday, so she brought everything. My wife was making a cake for her.
Oh, nice.
Bought all the ingredients, bought all the food, brought all the alcohol.
And the cake looks mwah.
My wife made it.
She's a good
My
cook.
one.
You chose well.
How's everyone?
We
We're good.
We are good.
You can't hate Instagram, hey? We must teach your kids how to make money from Instagram. That is
Yes.
the trick with everything, okay? Social media, it must work for you, not the other way around.
I know.
So, but you must teach the kids. So my kids now know. My son knows the high. He can tell you the highest paid YouTubers. He can tell you the highest paying channels. He's 11 years old. He can tell you everything about YouTube. So, but when I say whether it's social media or your car, what people don't understand, guys, if you wanna Uber or start Ubering with your car that you bought 3 weeks before lockdown, you should. You shouldn't care what people are gonna say. That's the first thing you need to learn. Do not care. You must live life like you're the only person on the planet, or you and your kids or your family or your loved ones. Do not care what people are gonna say. I've got a Mercedes-Benz V-Class I bought my wife. If you call me tomorrow and you ask me to deliver something for you, I will give you a code and I'll deliver it with this car because it's here and it must be paid for. And I can't sell it now, you know. If I sell it, I'll still be paying for it. So whether it's your car or your house or you have a cottage that you wanna Airbnb or rent out, you must do that. You must understand money. There is people willing to spend money everywhere, every day, all the time. So there'll be someone who's willing to rent your cottage because they want to live in this suburb where you live, but they can't afford the house. And they will come and park their BMW there, but they're renting your one room or your cottage. And they will park their most expensive car. There are people like that. If they are not renting from you, they are going to rent from someone. So whether it's a one-room townhouse and they work nearby and they are forced to get a place to stay. So all these little things we all have that we're keeping and we're not using. That's how you start teaching your kids, guys, this and this and this we can give away, maybe to give it to another kid or pass it on. This, it's still in this condition. We're gonna sell it for this much or put it on Instagram. Don't worry about people posing their fancy cars and put on your Instagram, Mena, I'm selling this thing here. DM me if you're interested. E-wallet me this amount, I'll reserve it for you, or I will meet you and we'll meet in this place, safe place, this time, and you can have this thing because I don't need it anymore. I've got tons of junk in my house, guys. I still have 2,000 DVDs of Taxi Ride, a movie I made 7 years ago. But I sold maybe 8,000 because I made 10,000, right? I give them away to police, soldiers, nurses, cops. I've been giving them away forever. But there's 2,000 DVDs here. If I can sell them for 10 Rand to recover my cost of printing them at the time, I'll do that.
Money.
You understand? So that's how you must teach your kids when it comes to money. It's not about going to university and waiting for 20 years to start making money and helping out at home. You know, we used to watch cows. I remember watching cows for 2 weeks in some farm between Paris and Klerksdorp, and I was paid 15 rands after 2 weeks of working. I was paid 15 rand. I was disappointed, but you know what? It was 15 rand more than I had, you know.
But then
You know
I'm
how-
sure you got a lesson from that. Negotiate before you start the work. Know how much you're gonna get.
Thenjiwe, you know how I got my first cell phone? I was studying drama at UCT. I'll tell this story quickly and then you guys can start going on about serious stuff. But how I bought my first cell phone. When I was studying at UCT, I was studying drama at UCT 96, 97, 98. And I mean, I was already that guy at varsity. I had my own little newspaper. I was making fun of people. I had my own little TV show, Selima Tunzi type, going to people's rooms with a camera, and then we'll play the back in the TV room. So people knew who I was when we were in drama school. So when they opened, if anyone remember Cavendish Square, when they opened CD Warehouse, the biggest music store in Africa, at Cavendish Square, they had this campaign, right? They had a board that said, if you want the real thing, go to CD Music Warehouse, yada yada, Cavendish. So we had to pretend to be bad musicians, which was because we were drama students. Someone came to drama school and said, we'll pay you guys whatever, 700, 200. All you have to do is be a bad musician. But next to you, there's this sign that says, if you want the real thing, you must go to the music warehouse. But my spot was Jameson Steps, University of Cape Town, lunchtime. And I was dressed like Michael Jackson with a wig, with the pants, with the short pants, the white socks. And for like 30 minutes, this is what I was doing for 30 minutes. This is what I was doing. For 30 minutes, I pretended to be a terrible Michael Jackson impersonator. But I thought people wouldn't recognize me. I had the curly hair, I had the hat. Within 5 minutes, someone from my res walked past Jameson Steps and went, "There you go!" So
You've been hustling.
right. But because I was in varsity, I was on financial. I couldn't even qualify for financial aid. My mom had to sell her policies for me to just have registration money. And then I get to school, I find out some people had fake death certificates of their grandmothers to qualify. And these were people who have money at home, right? So you have to understand making money, if it's legal, as long as you're not breaking the law. Whether it's castings, being an extra can pay, guys. 100, 200 bucks, 300 bucks a day. When you are featured, it starts becoming 500 bucks. Because now you're either sitting and doing nothing, or it's going to cost you a taxi and to go somewhere and be an extra. Nobody knows you. People don't even have to know you are at the background of whatever movie. But that's what we need to teach our kids, especially black kids, because black kids, everything is, you go to school, your parents are doing this for you, you're waiting. Rich white kids start working as waiters when they're still in school, never mind university. But they come from well-off houses, well-off backgrounds. When they come home and they go, "Mom, I've got so much, I need to get myself a CTI, a Golf 1 or a something yana." Their parents can add on to that. They're not going full on, "Here, we're buying you a car," But we don't have that culture as black people. We don't hustle. We don't have a system. And it's also the system that teaches you about money from a young age, that teaches you responsibility about money. And then we go varsity, graduate, best student ever, best work ever. First paycheck comes, you lose your mind. The family loses their mind. Their friends lose their mind. Their relative lose their minds all over your first paycheck. Then the fight starts. Then the overcommitment starts. Then the promises start. Then you are feeling obliged. You took care of me. This one took me to school. Then you start giving. Then you start committing. "Yes, uncle, I'll take your child to school. I'll do this for you. I'll build and extend your house." You haven't taken care of yourself. You have no budget. You haven't paid your own responsibilities. You're still owing school fees and NAFSAs from university. Because we didn't have a step 1, 2, 3. We didn't have a plan. We didn't even have, "Okay, my child, you're going to get your first paycheck. What are your plans? Do you have a budget? Do you have debts? Do my parents still have my debt from varsity when they took surety for me? That maybe I should start there. Let me live with my parents until I've paid off my debt or until I've saved enough to..." No, guys, we get married on debt, on skolot. When people are getting married, but Even the lobola is a problem to put together or to finish, but they still go ahead with the decision. Then they want to get their own place. Then there's the pressure of all your wife's friends have cars and your wife doesn't have a car. Now you are with a matzapa, you are making means, But that story just ends badly. We all know. We've seen the story over and over and over, Thenjiwe. My thing now, I've driven the cars I want. I hate cars. There's nothing you can tell me about cars. If you see me driving a Bentley that I want to drive, you must know I have millions hidden somewhere. Not I have 7 million and then I buy a Bentley for 6 or 5 million. You understand? If you see me driving a 1 million rand car, you must know comfortably somewhere I've got 10 banyana sitting doing nothing. Not now ish. I've got 1 million. I'm making 1 million, but I'm buying a car for 900,000. Then I don't have money for tires, and now I borrow money for tires. I go to the credit card for petrol and tires. That's the life we're living,
Hey,
and
you see, buying a croissant with a credit card.
The credit cards are the worst thing I've made.
Snacks with a credit card.
Let me tell you the secret. The banks love you as long as you have money. In fact, the more money you have, the more credit they give you. When you don't have the money anymore, they start looking what can they take from you. Because they know that you've got money, you had money, there's something you have, whether it's your house or your car. That's when the repossessions begin, because they just want to recover their money. So you spend 1 million buying a car, now you're left with 600,000. You owe them 500,000. They just want to recover their 500,000. The car is worth 600,000. They're going to auction it for 500,000. You're going to lose out, but you've already paid the 400,000 on it. You've got the 100,000 you would have made if you were selling the car willingly. So you have to be clever. Keep your money there, save your money. Livestock, Thenjiwe. Livestock, it's such a well-kept secret. I can understand property and, hey guys, let's buy property and rent it out. Guys, livestock is such a well-kept secret. It's unbelievable. You can make almost 100% of your money in a year or in 2 years. You buy a cow for 10, 15 grand. If it gives birth and it's female, that calf in 2-3 years is already another cow, and it can give birth almost every year, by the way. So your 10, 15 grand from one cow in 3-4 years can make you another 3-4 cows. That are another 15, 20 grand each. I'm talking one. You don't have to have 100. You can start with one, go meet somebody who's got a male, a bull that you can pair them. You decide the first calf is yours, the second calf is mine. And I'm saying this because I have this arrangement, You take care of them. The first calf is yours, second one is mine, another one is yours, and and Jalo, add another one. The same with sheep, goats. You drive to these rural areas where cows are still 6,000, 8,000, but in Joburg we're paying 14,000 rand a cow. And there's so many things we can do, and they're fun, these things. But the problem is we're watching who's watching us. We're looking who's looking at us.
It is so sad. We are living by ourselves, but renting 4-bedroom houses. Why? When you're renting, not buying, not an investment, you live on your own. Usugu will agree with me. Here we have a lot of people who do live-in work, which pays very well for live-in carers. They are at work. They only come home for one weekend every 3 months, but they are renting a house for 2,000 pounds or 600 pounds. They don't have a home, a car. They're more worried about people here. They don't have a house that they own, a car. They don't have a savings. That house is full of boxes, full of designer clothes. We were not taught about money.
Let me tell you about my clothes. If you see me wearing I've got a pair of Gucci shoes I bought in Paris maybe 7, 8 years ago. About 9 grand, a pair of Gucci sneakers. I've got a pair of Louis Vuittons. Actually, I'll show you since we're here. I've got a pair of Louis Vuitton boots that I bought about 9 years ago. When I was buying them, I met Steve Harvey in the Louis Vuitton in Paris. So I like them because I have that story. But I want to show you something. Okay. These are the Louis Vuittons. Kitty Felskoen, basically. They are Felskoeners, right? The guys who make Felskoen shoes, the Afrikaners who make Felskoen shoes. I don't know if you've seen Siya Kolisa maybe wearing them. They send me this pair for free. I wear those Felskoens almost every day. I haven't worn these in a while. They're nice shoes. But 9 years ago, I saw no reason not to buy them. But I'm telling you today, Thenjiwe, you will never know how much money I have. You will see me wearing these Felskoens. And you don't even know that they were free. Never mind. They probably cost 1,000 rand or 2,000 rand or whatever. They were free. This top I'm wearing is a blacks only top. So I own this top. I had it made. I don't know if you can see the blacks only logo. So I had it made. And I'll wear it every day if I have to. Labels. What clothes you are wearing. The material to a huge extent is the same. Yes, the Louis Vuittons might be tailored a bit different. Some of the material in the clothes, yes, they last long and they are good quality. But can you afford to wear them? Can you afford that you are walking around with a 10 to 30,000 rand handbag on your current lifestyle, on your current earnings? Can you afford this thing?
Those are 2 cows. Imagine if you bought a car with those Louis Vuitton, how many would you have after 9 years?
I've got, I can show you 2 Gucci handbags. I bought my wife 2 Gucci handbags matching with 2 pairs of Gucci shoes. My domestic worker washed the Gucci bags once. My wife can never ever use them again. She thought she was doing her job. I can show them to you. But at the end of the day, you can't even have an argument with her and say to her, what have you done? Do you know how much this? You can't. There's not even a point in doing that.
How many months do you have to not pay her?
Long time. It's nice to have. These things are nice things, but if you have 100 million, then you can spend 1, 10, 5 million. You understand? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying people must not enjoy their money or enjoy their life or drive the car they want to drive. I'm saying if we're making 10, 20,000 rand a month, we should be saving maybe 1,000 or 2,000 rand a month. If you're making 100K a month, you should be saving maybe 20K a month. That's untouched. That you can save for as long as you are earning 100,000 a month. So you can go and blow your 80,000. I understand you've got bills to pay, you've got rent or bond or a nice car, school fees. That's fine. And now I always come back to myself. I'm not pointing fingers. I know what I've done with my money. It's not gonna come back. And luckily, maybe I'm lucky, I know how to make money, right? But I spend my money very, very different nowadays. Very, very different. Compared to, I've chartered jets, Thenjiwe, that were costing more than the gig that I was doing and going But I have my own reasons why. But all I'm saying, if you are making $100,000 and the jet costs $10,000, and you can go there and go back to your family quicker than waiting for a commercial flight, by all means, I will show you someone who can charter the jet for you. I will connect you to those people that own the jets, that own 2 or 3. Never fly them unless they're already going somewhere or they're coming back from somewhere. But they'll charter it out to you and they'll go and fly commercial if they have to, right? So if you are making $100 million a year or 100 million rands, to take a commercial flight is a waste of your time and a waste of your money. Then by all means, you should charter a plane. You must have a chauffeur waiting for you when you get off, take you to a meeting, get back on the plane, go to a meeting in another town, get back to your wife and kids and have dinner at home.
But what about if I charter and when I get to the airport, I have to take a taxi?
What about?
Those who charter and then when we get to the airport, I have to take a taxi.
Then you know you have a problem. Chomi who's on land. Chomi, are you picking me up? Then you have a problem.
Yeah.
But these are the lives we live, guys. Now I talk about shit I know, and I've been in places. Thenjiwe, I used to swipe 15 grand in nightclubs for alcohol. I don't drink alcohol.
You don't even drink?
I don't drink alcohol. But I used to shut down. You know, when we were doing Pure Monate show, I would get a call, someone saying, corporate gig, please come here, yada yada. These clients, I would stop production on the Pure Monate show, go drive, do a gig, get paid, come back, take the whole cast and crew to Nando's in Melville and pay for lunch. This was just one day. There was no social media.
Yeah.
There was no Twitter, there was no Facebooks. And this is 14, 16 years ago. This is 14, 16 years ago during the Pure Monate show.
But guys, what do we do? Because when we look, even annually, when you look at your statements, when you look at what your accountant sends you, the money in versus money out, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so this is why when I talk about money, when I'm doing motivational speaking and stuff, I talk about all the money I wasted. I don't talk about, hey, make money and you're going to make $1 million if you do this. And I tell you all the things that I've done with my money that I would not do again. That's actually all I focus on when I talk about how I spend my money.
Sure.
I don't talk about all the wonderful things that's easy. But I can tell you, if I had different advice, if I had not different friends per se, but if I had mentors that I have now, then when I was starting out, when I was 16, when I was 18 years old, guy, we'd be talking a different story with the same amount of money that I had, right? So the advice is important. The people you surround yourself is important. Have mentors, DM people and say, hey, Ntate Tim Tebela, you don't know me. Can I have 5 minutes of your time? Can I see you for lunch once a year? I just want to know your story. I just want to know you. Or, hey, so-and-so, all I need to know is, can I do this? Should I do this? I've got this idea. Maybe should I do that rather? That's all you have to do, because we didn't grow up with this. Nobody was going to offer us to mentor us and talk to us about money. And Thenjiwe, I used to feel so bad. I was making my mom's salary in a 30-minute gig at some stage. My mom was a prison warder. I was making her salary in a gig, in a day, in less than an hour. Do you understand what this does to you?
I don't know what's happening with your sound, David.
Hashem.
Again. There's a cough.
Let me get out and come back in. Let me sit down before I come in.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Oh no, it's not Smusis. It's Zemas. Uthi Thenjiwe, can you be my mentor? Now I need a mentor. I mean, I am so bad. I am so bad. Mimi, what do you have to say about what David has said about the mistakes we make ngemali as people?
I think he's got a lot of valid points, and I'd say there's also a delay.
We can hear you.
Yeah, sorry.
So I'm saying that I think he has a lot of valid points. My dad, for example, is a farmer. So the thing about what he said about livestock, because it goes hand in hand with what David said. And my father always says that it is the best savings account you can have, because you will never get that type of interest at bank that you would get from your livestock walking around, as long as you take care of it, and it multiplies. So sense cool, and I've heard it many times before. So cool. And then on the topic of wasting money, I totally agree with David as well, because as I said earlier about the labels and the brands and those kind of things, because the same thing that I said earlier, where my father told me that I buy you what you need, not what you want. So even until today, I walk into a shop or in any situation that I'm faced with, I ask myself those two questions. Do I want it or do I need it? Those are my two questions. And then I don't get it. Or I have this long
sometimes you want
myself,
to need it.
debate with myself. Ma?
Sometimes you want to need it. Yes, Mimi.
Yeah. So that is what I'm saying, because I think if each of us can walk into a shop and ask yourself that question, I think you're going to spend a lot less. You are not going to do impulsive buying, because a lot of people do that as well. Umuntu usebenza for 20 years. Kodwa now khola, end of the month, it's like the first time you've ever gotten paid. Sola awujwayeli imali, and it's like your mind goes somewhere else. You can't even focus anymore. You get people umuntu abuya faka incwadi on a Monday. This is to orangakula, or something is wrong with me. But Friday was payday. It's the stigma that money. I don't understand it, because sometimes I think umuntu mhlambe akajwayelanga imali in his whole life. He never knew money. So now you have money, and you lose your mind. You can't focus. Your world revolves around finishing it. My father used to say it's burning a hole in your pocket. You can't rest until the burn is gone.
That is so true. I want to show you a message.
New money.
This is
new money.
A friend of mine, Usbah. Uthi Thenjiwe is super bad. She's responsible for all my bad financial decisions in my early 20s. You know, we could have been able to retire before 30. The amount of money we were making in our 20s. Before 30, we could have retired and been fine for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, siyafana.
Do you know how many shoes we had? Do you know what the kind of food we ate? Like we thought we had made it in life.
Yeah.
We are a sandwich, I say Harrods, 80 pounds.
Yeah.
It would be nothing. And not only did we spend on ourselves, on everyone that we knew. Everyone. The boxes we were sending home.
So Thenjiwe, all it is, right?
We could have tired.
So let's be fair and let's be honest. It will happen, right? Most of us have never seen the amount of money we see at a certain time in our life or stage of our life. But then we shouldn't get stuck in that. The moment you have money, your biggest chance is to learn how to use the money. That is actually your biggest opportunity with money, not learn how to spend it. So your money should create opportunities for you. So your money, Thenjiwe, I will spend, if I was trying to make a movie for $5 million, $10 million, and I have 100,000 Rand, I will spend the 100,000 Rand to meet a producer or an actress I want to be in the movie. If they said to me, come to a meeting in LA, I will pay, get on the plane, book accommodation, go and meet them. Whether they say yes or no, but the money, the 100,000 Rand or 20,000 Rand or 50,000 Rand gives me the opportunity to say to them or their agent or manager, I want to meet your actor because I'm making a movie or I'm doing a comedy show and I want to put them in it. Can we meet? You understand? Your money is supposed to make you more money or create opportunities for you to make money. Not to, hey, cars, guys. I mean, I've driven cars, guys, Shem. I think I've had 9 or 10 cars. I've driven cars. We're going to go through it. But at some stage, we have to get over it. And yes, I'm older, or people will say they haven't yet worked, or they must still work, and they must still get their first car. Understandably so. If you can afford it.
But we don't want them to repeat the same mistakes that we made. The whole point of us even talking about this is because we do not want them to repeat the same mistakes.
No, we don't want to. And it's the advice I give comedians that I manage or that I help out also. Because you don't have to watch this movie over and over and over to know how it ends. Maybe another time, guys, we'll have a fun chat. Tonight, you all have to go sort out your finances. Bye-bye. Thanks for the invite.
It's important. But before you leave us, David, do you have financial talks with your children? Do you talk to your children about money?
So we have them indirectly because, I mean, since I used to give my kids everything, and I probably do everything for my kids, which long term, it's a mistake. But the psychology of I didn't have this when I was growing up, my kids have to have better lives. My kids have everything, okay? Now, I needed to then start going, no, you can't have another car. You already have 10 cars at home. No, you can't have another thing. You already have the other one, or you broke the other one. You didn't even take care of it. So now how the lessons happen indirectly, because they are on computers, laptops, and that they have access to apps and games. Some of these free games, once you are in the game, they sell you stuff, which you have to spend real money. So now he'll come and go, Dad, roadblocks, yada, yada. Can I have 80 roadblocks? And I'm like, huh? Can I have 80 roadblocks? And then I look, $4.99, $9.99 US dollars. I'm like, do you know how much this money is? When? Then I start going, this can pay your school fees or this so many times. This can buy this thing so many times. That you just want to play games, you know? Dad, is a PlayStation game expensive? The cheapest might be $6.99, maybe $4.99 if it's on sale. These new ones now are like $9.99, 1.2. Then I start going, you can get this and this, or if you really want this game, then you're not getting this and this and this. So at that stage, I mean, my son is 11.
Go on Instagram and twerk. If you really want this game, go on Instagram and twerk. Do you see that boys twerking for that girl who's giving them, I think it's PlayStation 5. They had to twerk.
Listen, those guys are onto something. I hope though they do get the PlayStation, because that PlayStation 5 hasn't come out yet. So I hope they do get it. But if you are sitting at home, you have a good body, and some rich woman says, twerk for me and I'll give you a PlayStation 5, which probably gonna cost 10 grand, Thenjiwe, or 8 grand, Thenjiwe. I will twerk because I'm already online, I'm already watching, I've got a hot body. I'll twerk, I'll change clothes and pretend I'm someone else and twerk again so that I have 2 chances. I'll keep, but do you understand? These are the things that people miss about how you can make money honestly, legally, easy, and also because you are already doing something, you might as well get money for it. You know, if you're good in maths, go and tutor on the weekends instead of chilling at the car wash.
Oh, be on Facebook and get blessers like Sipho. Hey, Shanga, the friend of the channel, another super chat. This is the second one just today. Uti, I'm
are they giving you money? Are they blessing you?
I last saw him at the Oshuk border post. This show deserves more money. Thanks. Thank you so much, Sipho. Hey.
So Sipho, is this my money or Thenjiwe's money?
It's my money. Get people to put thingy to super chat your show, David. Get people to super chat your show. It's my money.
Okay, Shao.
Hey.
Okay, Shao. Guys, thank you so much. Sorry to hold your show and your limelight. You know, we can do this again, by the way, because financial advice has to be no financial advice has to be
on Saturday. On Saturday, we will. I will speak to you. But on Saturday, we're talking about wills, the importance of writing a will, because
that's fine, especially now with COVID-19.
It's very, very important. Who's gonna inherit your masks?
You must write wills that are all 2 weeks long. Every 2 weeks, you change the will.
We don't want you to leave a mask and yamo. So
every 2 weeks we must change
we have to. We have no choice. We have to.
When things change, you change the will again. When you move around from where you are quarantined now to another place, you change the will again.
Yeah, so guys, it's gonna be nice.
Okay.
Be nice. Okay. Thank you so much, David. Really appreciate you.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.
We really appreciate you. Thank you. Zamo, you've been quiet for a long time. What lessons have you learned from Mr. Cow and from the whole conversation?
Talking about things that I've already went through me now as growing up. I used to tell you that I used to have a lot of money. My main problem was having no screw of saying no. You know, when somebody asks and people tend to take advantage, they know what is cool man knows I'm most I would give and give. And if I calculate and I'll entertain and I'll do all those things. And if it was now, I'll really won't be working. I'll be retired, honestly, because then I used my money differently than I am now. Like now it's different. I still give if it's possible, but I'm not the person I was before. Like even with my kids, all of them have accounts, you know, and all of them every month we put money. My kids sometimes in their accounts will have more money than I have spending for that month. It's like that. I remember at some stage my elder son, we went to China with him. It was a holiday for me and him. It was his birthday. So we went to China, went shopping. And then because my card, I didn't tell my bank that I was going to China. It was locked. I couldn't buy with my card. And I was so frustrated, phoning my husband and whatnot. And the next thing, my son is like, I have my card. Maybe you can use it. And we were at a restaurant eating and we were supposed to pay. The card couldn't pay. And then he gave me his card and then he said, I must go and draw money. I went to draw the money. I almost fell off my feet. to know how much money I didn't have the money he had. And at that time, it was about 6,000 or 8,000 or something. I'm like, this is not even the budget I have for taking you here. But I mean, that's how much luckily I would call him stingy. Shame. I won't say he is like saving or whatnot. Maybe he is, but he's very strange. He doesn't use his money at all. But I'm happy he's like that. But with the other kids, it's different. They only want these things. But then again, the mistake I did, like what David was saying, I made a mistake of like, I grew up poor. I grew up without anything. So ngengane zami ngizowenza sure ukuthi abaswele lutho. But then that sometimes is a problem because you end up going out of hand because you go travel and come back and bring them these brands and whatnot, but not because the brands are expensive. You know, when we go overseas, the brands are not as expensive because you time when you buy. But they don't know that. They think you just bought expensive things, so they think you always have money to do these things. And then it's went to a point where I'm like, okay, fine, now it stops. If they say, oh, mommy, please bring me this, I'm like, why? Because you have the other. But this one is new in fashion. I'm like, it doesn't work like that. You will get it when you really need it, not when you want it. So now at least we have that, you know, even when with their bank account, they're like, but why can't you give us our bank accounts? I'm like, our bank cards. I'm like, no, you don't get your bank card because you won't be using that money responsibly. If you can promise me now that I give you that card, you don't, like right now, there's nothing you don't get at home. And there's all those things. So uzolenza card. So my kids, like one of them is doing grade 10. Party card like out. So there's one where we put money, which is like having like a lot of money. And then I had to open her another card, yes, FNP, but that was selfish of me. So that if I ends something or something, then I will put Leo money there. But that card is probably always don't have money because but then they learn from there. They have to use the money they have. One, they can't just get things anyhow. At some stage, we were going on a campaign overseas. And then me and my husband, we were sitting on business class. And born up, they were sitting on economy. So they were asking, but why are you and Daddy sitting in the business and we're sitting in the economy class? I'm like, do you have a business? No, we don't have a business. I'm like, until that day you have a business, you'll sit on the business class. Right now, you sit there. You're even lucky that you are flying to Paris where other kids can't even fly to Paris. You are even lucky to even be in that situation. So that until the day you have a business, you will fly business class. So you will work harder because you would want to sit in that business class or sit in that first class. I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not going to just hand it to you. That's it, you know. So yeah, it's a very difficult one to talk to kids because sometimes they don't understand. They really don't understand because you used to do it before, but you used to give me. I'm like, before is before, now is now. I'm not giving you anything unless it's something that you really, really need and it will change your life. Then you're gonna get it. But otherwise, right now, no.
Yeah. But there's something I like that you do with your children, where if we go out to eat, you give them their own money and their own budget, and it has really changed how they order.
You're reminding me of them.
The most expensive thing and the largest size. But when it's their money, they will even order a sandwich and share because they want the most change.
They do that.
It's very important in teaching them.
I'm telling you, don't order until they order things that will be taken away. And then don't take away, they already have them at home. I'm like, why do you do that? You're behaving like kids who grew up with nothing. They grew up like they but why do you do that? No, because I want to carry it to school tomorrow. I'm like, So like what I decided is like, we go out, they love going out, so we brought them up that way. I'm like, now when we go out, I give you your budget, 100 rand, 100 rand, 100 rand. And then I have my budget. It's my money. I can have as much as I want. I'm telling you, they will share a sandwich, share a milkshake in the restaurant because they want to have that extra money in their pocket.
Being stingy helps, believe me. I remember at school, I was well known for that. And I was always happy to know it because I knew what I was doing, building for my future. So like being stingy. And I want to go back. There's a comment that I saw. Let me add Umimi. And when I come back with this one, I will want to start with Umimi because I want us to really talk about this topic. Princess Buhle Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Princess Buhle, yazi usungenza ngifeel bad because you are really always helping the channel. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Ngiyabonga kakhulu. There's one about, there are actually a few about livestock. Where is that one that there? Andile uti, I've been criticized for my love for livestock. My late father had 13 cows when he died in 2015 and about 6 goats. Currently, we have 26 cows and we've sold 7 cows over the past 5 years of his departure. We used all the goats for ceremonies that took place in the family. So livestock is the future. It's not cheap to maintain it. It's not cheap to maintain it due to climate change. However, we are managing just fine. Guys, let us have indaba ye livestock sithathe serious, and also live in places where even if you don't live there, Emma farm, have people abakutshalelayo and they are cheap labor. Because right now people are bakhala ngokudla. You could be having a farm where you know ukuthi noma ngathiwa sengilambe kanjani but ngina umbila nekabishi. We need to respect that. Utusbahle, livestock is the future. We have a herd of cattle, goats, and sheep multiplying. We are struggling with drought, though, in Mozambique when my livestock is kept. So we are opting for boreholes. See? Problem, solution. Livestock. And Mimi, you said your father is a farmer, ne? So what would you advise someone who saw this video and had this conversation about livestock and said, I want to start? What advice would you give them?
Well, the little that I know about it, I would say that first of all, just start by doing research as to the area that you live in and what animals will go well with the climate, for one, as the lady said in Mozambique with the water issue and whatnot, because there are certain sheep that flourish in certain areas. So I think, for example, when we talk about sheep, goats are pretty easy, I think, but I think rather do homework first before you attempt on buying anything, and have space for them, because a lot of people they underestimate how much these animals can eat. And they will say, okay, fine, I've got a plot, 10-hectare plot, but I want to put 500 sheep on the 10-hectare plot. You have lost the plot if that is actually what you are trying to do, because you won't have food for your sheep. So my father always says he's not a sheep farmer, he's a grass farmer, because he plants grass so that he can feed his sheep. Because if he doesn't have enough grass, then he cannot feed the animals. So that is the most important thing you need to focus on: food. Do you have food for your animals? And then after you get the animals, not vice versa. So if you have the land, by all means, go for it. I mean, it is a very lucrative business. That is why it is so big, and that is why it's doing so well, because people are actually managing it properly. But you need the expertise. You need to know when your cow is sick, what you're going to do. You need to know when your sheep is having a blue tongue or whatever the case may be, what is the problem. These are all kinds of things that you need to learn from other fellow farmers and people that have been in the industry for long enough. So in any type of business that you want to enter in, you need to do homework. And I believe that it does work. I on my side, I'm not a fan, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't see myself walking around chasing goats and sheep around, but I don't mind having it and having someone managing it for me, like Ushiz or David Utsi. You can have a guy and say, all right, fine, the first one is yours and the second one is mine. I know Ubabwami, what he does, the guy that helps him on the farm gets a profit share. So the amount of lambs that get born, he gets a percentage of the amount of lambs that get sold. And if a lamb dies, he gets penalized. So that is how you can manage your business. So Nangabe Uyafa, for whatever reason, he must help pay for the loss, because you've lost a lamb that's worth 2,000 rand. So these are all kinds of things that you can implement in livestock farming. But I think it's a good business, and I think it is completely lucrative if you manage it correctly.
Hey, Mimi, The men are about to shire me here. Ngiyabasaba amadoda ase-South Africa ayashayana. Bathi nje bakufuna ukukhuluma isiZulu, you are their crush. They are here.
Yep.
They are here for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yo, hi guys. This
Ngathi about this.
angizwa Mimi?
Ngathi iyakuchaza lento ngoba sonke isikhathi nasikhuluma vele iyakuchaza lento iyakuhlekisa.
Sometimes I'm laughing because I'm reading messages at the same time as ngilalela. So guys, this is a topic esingahlala 8 hours sikhuluma. What advice can we give those who are younger than us so that they do not repeat the same mistakes as awenza? And what can we teach our children about this? Asiqale ngawe Sukoluhle kade sikugcinile.
Nothing. Anyway, guys, I mean, everybody has spoken well. David Cow, when I said Instagram, I need for Instagram for makeup. But apart from Ugubang entrepreneur is good. I mean, I started my foundation, go social media, go Facebook. If foundation I'm there and like at Suku Moyo Mackenzie Foundation, let's to preparate. Because my videos, I'm go Facebook. And the more I realized most people benefited from it, that's when I registered and made a foundation. So I write Instagram for the good things, not for the bad. And then Mantombazana, don't twerk on Instagram to get money. Don't twerk. Pinde foot. Girls, don't twerk on Instagram to get money. Because that little money that you get will take away all of your dignity. Secondly, Bible is about to recycle. You get all those things that you are not wearing. There's Amazon, there's eBay, they sell them. And stop the Bazatini syndrome. When you don't have, you don't have.
Facebook Marketplace as well is doing very well.
Exactly. Facebook Marketplace. You don't use those things, put them there. Don't depend on bank of mom and dad. How will you grow? I'll give you an example. My daughter, when she started uni, she started in Leicester. She paid her own rent because I sebenza during the night. Sebenza my papa and but before that, she was a spoiled little brat. Every Christmas, wayefuna ama gadgets, Nintendo Wii. But when she was growing, when she was growing, why say? But do you know those Nintendo Wiis? She sold them when she was at uni. She started recycles. Because at the end of the day, we won't always be alive for you. We will not be there every time you need it. And you're not doing it for us, you are doing it for yourself. You don't want to be like me next time Sulama dead. I had death. Tell you I don't want to lie. I was buying clothes that I don't even wear. When I got to this country, I was hoarding and I learned the eBay things, but I don't want you to learn very late. Save. And when you are here in England, there's ISA. ISA, you save your money to help you when you're buying your house. With your bank, have a savings bank. And if ulapa say Africa okay, I can't have an e-bank, try and have your own place, even a piggy bank. Save your money. Because you cannot live your life depending on boys. That's why you end up heartbroken, not because of Mutuyele, because he's gone and left you with those things that he used to give you. Because you can't be dependent. If you love doing hair, try and be a hairdresser. Start by doing our neighbors. You end up in here. If you love knitting or sewing, do something. Use skills. Try, and I'll repeat, use your skills. Money doesn't come from trees. And there's nothing as good as having the money that you own. And secondly, please live within your means. Don't want to buy something because somebody would say, I don't want to be seen in Primark. I don't want to be seen in what? It's you who is struggling. Because those people will see you and they go to their own places. And that's my advice to you as Auntie Suku Gaga. I've been there, girls. It's not good. I'm not saying twerking, but I've been, but I've been on that end of trying to buy things, and then in the end, I realized, after all, there was no need because you've worn it once or twice. You are beautiful as you are. Just live according to your own means. That's all I can say. You can slay all you like. That's good. But don't do it for somebody. Do it for you and what you can afford.
That is so important and so powerful. We need to live within our means and stop having bazothina bantu syndrome. What will people say? Because you must be more worried about what will my bank account say if I buy this. Will it say minus or will it stay positive? Yeah, guys. And let us teach our children. There are some points that I want to read before I move on to Umimi na yesesitshela ama-point akhe okuvalelisa. Bahle is giving us some very valid points. It's okay to be selfish with your hard-earned money. It's okay to be selfish with your hard-earned money. Don't make people guilt trip you ngokufuna imali yakho, especially in the Black community. Your salary is divided amongst 75 people. That's why even if you earn imali enkulu ugcina ungaboni ukuthi wenzani ngayo. Aphinde athi learn early the importance of different streams of income. Don't say I am this, be that as well. You know, when you go to first world countries, you find that. I remember when I was in law school, my lecturer was one of my lecturers who was a professor and did one of the most difficult courses. She used to teach us land law. She worked in a pub at night. I was so shocked the first time I bumped into her. She worked in a pub and she was not even fazed. She was not embarrassed. She knew who she was. Tina, at home, we don't do that. I know a doctor who works for the post office ngama weekend, sorting out mail. That's money for her holidays. So let us learn different streams of income. Singabi relaxed, and all that comes from not having ibazothina bantu syndrome. Jobesho no Suku, if you know how to do hair, make money. If you know how to sew clothes, make money. Save before you spend. Save before you spend. Do not just spend everything you are making. Let us learn to save before we spend. That is very important. And like I think Umimi was saying earlier, to have a certain percentage of money you are saving out of your salary, and it will grow. Uzoboni sinning, and the more money you make, the more we want to save. And then up in the AS4 ati on kids, let your children touch money. Give them banking power. Let them budget for their friends' gifts from their own money. Tina, we started touching money because even if umuntu, a relative or someone gives you money, it would be a matter of you give it to your parents and you never see it again. Let your children touch money. Let them learn to budget from an early age. Bese ngizofunda leyo kugcina ke vela kuSipho, and then we will continue. Sipho, Sis Thenjiwe, please save this YouTube chat for the next 5 years or more. I will refer more people to it to learn. This has so much aspects of how we should handle money. Thank you so much, Sipho. I appreciate this. I am definitely going to save the chat. It will be available. Mimi, athi namazwi akho okugcina osivalelisa ngayo ne-advice osinika yona that we must take home when it comes to money, especially when it comes to those who come after us, esingafuni ba repeated the mistakes that we have made in life. Please unmute your mic. Mimi, please unmute your mic. Thank you.
I think on my side, I can say it's important that we realize what is our potential from a young age. and it is important that we see where we can actually generate an income from. So if you have a talent, njengoba ushizo usuku, that it is important if you have a talent and you know that you can actually pursue it, then pursue it. What are you waiting for? Stop waiting, because I think that is the problem that we all have in life. We wait and we wait and we wait for something to happen, but you don't realize that it is because of you that it needs to happen. No one is going to make it happen for you. That car, that house, that miracle job, that perfect job that you want, it's not just going to fall in your lap. You're going to have to actually work for it. And if you do not have that mentality to work hard, you are going to battle in life. Because I, for example, learned from a young age how to work hard. I mean, physically hard labor. I learned how to work hard with my hands, how to do blood, sweat, and tears to get everything that I want in life. I had to work for. And that is the problem that most kids have nowadays. They want everything given to them. It's easy. I just want this. I just want that. I see it so many times when we have vacancies at our company and people come there. They have this entitlement about themselves, like, I don't want this, I want that, because I feel that I deserve. You don't deserve anything. There's nothing you deserve. You earn it. And if you do not work to earn, then it's not going to happen for you. So people need to get your hands dirty. I would say to a child today, do not be afraid to get your hands dirty and to work hard. Because if you're not going to work hard and you're going to expect life to just hand things to you, then you are going to get a big slap in your face. You're going to get a reality check that's going to wake you up. Because people out there, the world is a mean, mean, mean machine, and it doesn't take any victims. People need to realize that you have to take responsibility for your own life and plan for your future and make sure that you, on your end, work hard and that you can reap the rewards at the end of the day.
Thank you so much, guys. The future yakho isezandleni zakho. Asifunde to work hard, and nobody is gonna save for you. You must save for yourself and start from imali encane izokhula. Okay, Suku, yes.
Bengithi futhi, guys, there is no miracle money. Says one. Lokhu ukuthi uzayekela ukusebenza uthumelele miracle money ukuthi uzathatha envelope yakho uyigco. I'm sorry, I'm just saying, because imani, even Thenjiwe, don't laugh. Even the Bible iyatsho ukuthi umuntu kumele asebenzele imali yakhe. So when a mouse uzathatha envelope and put it in oil, uthi miracle money will come. Miracle money will not come if you don't work for it. So work. You say I didn't go to school. You know how to cook meals and sell. You know how to. There is no miracle money. I'm sorry, please don't take it the wrong way. Don't talk, but I'm just telling you. Your money will go. Look at it. Miracle. I bind. I'm waiting for miracle money. I'm waiting. Miracle money. There is no miracle money. And then they're recycling, and let's know how to budget it, and let's do everything. Let's use our common sense. Yeah, pay money local farmer envelopes. We cheer in the house. You haven't paid rent. You are putting in envelopes. You are giving. I'm not mentioning names. But this is my advice. You are taking money. You don't have it in COVID. Even when you are putting it in envelope, you know where you are taking it. But you don't have it home, and you're saying by faith, and then they check you out.
So we have to give, because I've seen so many messages that say type amen if you want to be rich. Am I not rich by typing amen?
If you are getting the money you have not paid for, you are a thief. If you tell the TV, you shock naked because you are touching TV. Stop it. You people, you are too much learning to being spoon-fed. That's why they will brainwash and spoon-feed you lies. You come to me now, who can I have money? What? Oh, I pay. No, I will not. Learn. Wonke umuntu lo muntu, use this and this. Where there is no miracle, man. Aiko. Says one. Thank you. Hallelujah.
I may not have been typing. There's no money that's coming. I am heartbroken.
It's coming 2020 is my year. I'm getting money. Okay, but ngiyakutshela work. Hey, lockdown, people have been learning skills. Some know how to bake. Now are doing things, milkshakes, do that. If you are waiting for that one, you say I said it on this line.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Suku. Thank you. We appreciate you. Zamo, ilipwena osishiya nalo awukosi yami inhliziyo yami isiphukile. Mina I've just been lazing around ngizenzela le show and typing amen, hoping that ngizovuka ngelinye ilanga imali igcwele i-bank account. I must use my socks. Zamo.
Yeah. I mean, what I will say, if you don't have it, don't spend it. You spend what you have. If you're earning 100 rand and you think you want to buy something for 150, then you're going about it the wrong way. Spend what you have and save as much as you can. I mean, make sure. I mean, if I'm not working anyway, that's a mistake I made, and I wouldn't want to see anyone making it. I'm not working. I don't have money. I'm told money from anywhere, and I get a job, and I'm earning 1,000 rand. Like, how does it happen that you're already getting into debt? You're spending a lot of money. You didn't have any before. So it must start like before a person, even like our kids, while they are in school, while they are preparing to go to the work environment. They must know that if I'm not working, I have no money. You start working, you have that money. And once you have that money, plan for it. And if it means stay at home, stay at home. And obviously you contribute what you can, but it won't be the same as like, oh, I'm getting a job, I'm going to stay in the flat, I want to buy a car, I want to do, those things are okay, but only when you have money to do them. So save as much as possible and don't spend the money that you don't have.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Zamo. Thank you so much, ladies and everyone who participated. And this is one of those topics that I am sure we will need to revisit again, because there is no way we can help imonakalo esiyenze njengoba mina ngino 23 nje imonakalo ya 23 years sizoyenza ngo 2.5 years. Don't look at me like you know my real age. So guys, thank you so much. We need to have these conversations. Zibalulekile. Tomorrow we have Ubaba Mnguni again, because people complained about incazelo zamaphupho. So he is back with us again tomorrow at 7. We're going to have 2 hours. Gizoyenza ilokhuzana. When you wake up tomorrow morning, come to my YouTube channel or Facebook, but I really prefer people watching from YouTube. Write your dream before the show starts, so that ungekuphinde usale uthi asifikelanga kwelakho. As soon as I do post, write your dream, so that izoba ngaphezulu, bangakuphaphela abantwana abahlakaniphile yabo ibe ngaphezulu. So please, tomorrow at 7, come with your dreams. Umnguni will be explaining uzobezochaza amaphupho, because on Monday we had too many asikwazanga ukwaqeda, and we just wanna finish Leo part. And then on Saturday, so Asikhulume, we're gonna have a lawyer ozosichazela about ukubhala ama-will, writing of wills, because siyazazi sinjani when it comes to that. Yeah. And nangumkhonyana ladies, usiput, can I marry all of you? And imagine having all these 4 smart minds in one household. No, you can't marry us. You'll be too rich. You'll be too rich. People will start hating you. We don't want you to die young. So guys, thank you so much. And if I didn't get to your question, I do apologize. But muningi kakhulu imbuzo khona, but I did my best to try and address everything ebhaliwe. So I will see you tomorrow at 7. Sikhuluma noBaba Mnguni echaza amaphupho. I love each and every one of you. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do make sure you subscribe. It is absolutely free. Let us get 200,000 subscribers before the end of lockdown. And do not forget to also subscribe to Mimi, Cultured by Mimi, and also follow all my panelists, but I call you friends. Follow all my friends on social media. And we're going to have a day as well where we're going to be talking about Charity Suku, because it is powerful and very important. Let's talk about it. People kill themselves because they have no one to talk to. People die of depression because they have no one to talk to. People start eating amaphilisi as abamenze kushintshe ngisho shape yomuntu ngamaphilisi okuhlanya kanti it's something ebingakhulunywa nje iqedwe. So we will be doing that. I will keep updating you ukuthi kulandelani. See you guys tomorrow at 7 ku Baba Mnguni. Thank you so much. Love each and every one of you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Subscription is free. Mahala.